Say hello to Sash now.
Hello
Hello.
to Sash now.
Hey, Sash.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode. We are just recounting the things that we did last week, including the manufacture of some belts of frost giant strength. We are now a war force to be contended with. We've traded in the heads. We've got some money to fund our ambitions over here in Zymorvan Hall. And from here on, we are playing the cards at the pace that we want to. We have taken out the Hill Giant chief, the Stone Giant chief, the Frost Giant. The Fire and the Cloud remain, and the Storm Giant as well, or at least the riddles relating to him. The pace is ours to direct right now for the following reason. The Hill Giants were the most out-and-out obvious danger. We curtailed their attacks and we've thinned their numbers that they're no longer a threat. The Frost Giants were the second most dangerous, raiding up and down the coast. No coastal civilization was safe from them, but we've curtailed that threat as well and sent their flagship to the bottom of the sea. The Stone Giants were less of a problem, but you could tell that's the people of the law, who were just killed to a number, their entire town leveled, and it's likely that somewhere like Loudwater would have been next. So we prevented that atrocity by helping them get a new look on philosophy. The Fire Giants, they're a little less easy to define. They are involved in periodic raids as they search for pieces of the Voden Dode, the great adamantine machine that they're trying to reassemble. But apart from these targeted assaults at locations that they think they can find these components, they haven't been a terrible nuisance. Which is ironic because the Fire Giants are the warmongers among giant kind. If anyone could be expected to be trying to conquer the world, it should be them. And yet they are among the quietest of the lot. That leaves the Cloud Giants. Could be that. That leaves the Cloud Giants, and they're the hardest to find by far, primarily because their fortresses tend to be mobile. They tend to move around through the sky. And so if we do intend to bring down the leader of the Cloud Giants, we might have to wait for some sort of clue to fall into our hands, since at this stage we wouldn't know where to begin to look.
Do we even know much about it? Because, isn't it 50-50? He's evil? Do we know who the leader of the Cloud Giants are?
It's such a silly thing to say, and it just sounds like hearsay. But every document you've got from ancient to recent text seems to indicate that, Cloud Giants are 50-50, and they are strong in 50-50. The good people are kind and fair and noble, and the evil ones are sinister and wretched and filled with dreams of conquest. They tend to be really good or really bad.
Does Avadale's books have any answers on which one the current king lands on?
It doesn't seem to have a set king. They seem to be independent enough that each one is a king to their own right, and so leaders come and leaders go. It's more like a powerful democracy or oligarchy in that sense, that rather than there being a single king for life, there's more like a minister for a time, and then they'll be forgotten and someone else will come along, and people will split up into different political factions and so on and so forth. It's much more complex than the very simple feudal system that the other giants seem to stick to.
So our current plan probably wouldn't work unless we plan on killing dozens of these leader type people.
Yeah, something like that, or learning about a particular leader that poses a specific threat, or it is difficult to work out how to even go about this aspect.
Because our current plan is to sow chaos by like killing the leadership. But like if you just kill one of the leaders, it sounds like another one will just come up.
Something, yeah, that's basically the case. So if you were going to kill a frost giant, a cloud giant leader, you probably want to selectively target, a particular villain rather than just going for whichever one's the most powerful.
And then you still got to find them as well.
Yeah, yeah. And being among the sky as cloud giants, the names that are suggested, you have a flying ship. That's good, but if your fight with the frost giant should have taught you anything, it's that giants are uniquely equipped to bring that ship down with a few solid hits.
Right. Is everyone equipped to start the journey to, I think, Mithril Hall to find if they know anything more about the fire giants? Was maybe the plan?
Yeah, we need to find out about the fire giants. Because we know that there's like an entrance up here somewhere, but we need more concrete information on them.
Right. Has everyone
I've got a
their
hint here that
guffaroos?
says enemies gather in the Grey Peak Mountains. Does that mean anything?
Maybe.
I think we dealt with that
Those
one.
are the
Ages
Grey
ago.
Peak Mountains.
No, we dealt with that. That's the hill giants, I think.
Stone, maybe.
No, stone giants. Yeah.
Grey Pig, yeah, that was.
Ah, yeah, down there.
Yeah, that's right.
And we know the fire giants to be subterranean, so dwarves, obvious choice, I guess. They'd probably know a bit more. We should gear up and get going. Mithril Hall.
How much would a like a potion of haste cost? Just curious.
If we don't have any prices already, then you can just use the.
I think they were like 725, if I recall.
Yeah, 750.
Right?
Yeah, they're 750.
And I'll use my third eye feature to see invisible. Because that just lasts a while, doesn't it? Yeah, it does.
Last until your next long
now.
rest, yeah.
Yeah, so unless I say otherwise, I'll have that one going.
Yeah, cool. You'll have see invisibility going. I'll forget. And so
I'll
there'll
mention
be a bit of. Yeah, good. There'll probably be retconning involved where I'm like, oh, yeah, no, there's an imp that's been watching me for like 15 minutes.
It's only 10 feet. So unless they
Oh,
specifically
okay.
come over and do
Right.
something to me, I probably won't notice. They probably won't get close enough.
That is really close range. Yeah.
What is
Alright.
it?
Yeah, it's the third eye. You can see invisible creatures and objects within 10 feet of you that are within line of sight.
Huh. Well, you can see invisible objects. That's pretty good too.
Yeah,
but if something like
A room.
yeah, but invisible creatures don't tend to sneak. Like if someone wants to, like walk up and stab me, they'll like come into view and like try to stab me. It's like I can see you.
Get out
yes
of here.
and no. Yeah. The more professional ones would do that. But anyway, no need to make it confusing. Yeah. So we're flying to Mithril Hall.
Everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Find them through the hole.
You get like 70 miles in a day, so it'll only take a single day. Is there anything that you're bringing?
Oh, do we need like an offering? They weren't letting people in last time, right?
The tree be interested in coming. What I don't know what to do with the tree now.
Do we still have the frost giant king's head?
No, the Jarl, we handed that one in as
Oh,
well.
yeah, okay. But we have the horns. We have multiple horns. Do we need multiple horns?
Not really, but we have two.
I got a gong handle and a stick. Would that help?
What happened to the gong?
Gotta disintegrate
I
it.
don't know. What did happen to the
I
gong?
can't remember.
Ah.
Has keen mind, can't remember. No,
I mean, we still have barrels of mead.
I mean, we
That
still
nice
can
golden mead.
we can give the party minted coin to like the leader here as well while we're here.
Mithril Hall?
Yeah, we haven't given one to them yet.
I mean, the dwarves, they won't feel indebted to us.
Yeah, but they still said they would help us.
True.
And if they don't come, we can just browbeat them until for eternity, saying that you're just a bunch of oath breakers. The other two dwarven cities are much better than you.
Oh, is Merivar in there, in that list?
The three on the list is Mithril Hall, Mirrorbar, and Ironmaster.
Oh. Don't talk to them about Mirabar. Anyway. Do you, a couple of barrels of ale, you reckon? A few?
Yeah, I reckon bring some of our nicest barrels of ale / mead and
Mead, there you go, that's right. They love mead.
Wait.
They love everything.
I've got some maths on. Total coins 69, remaining coins 67. Yeah, that's right. I thought I got that wrong for some reason.
Why did we make 69?
Roz made
Put it in.
70 and kept one.
Oh, okay. Damn. I was gonna say that it's the best batch number.
And each one has a number on it.
Who's got number one? Welcome,
I'm gonna have the
Sash.
number. Oh, yes, Sash is actually here. The numbers are going to correlate like with the ones like in the ally list.
Alright. Okay. Do we have
So
a
the
stock
people
of
of
ale?
Nightstone would get the number one coin.
Okay. Oh, hello, Grady.
Hey.
Do we have a stock of meat, or are we just giving our personal collections?
I mean, didn't we have like 50 barrels?
Yeah, for the people, I'm just gonna wheel out a couple of the ones that I bought.
I've got 8 left of mine, so
I also have 8.
nice. Well,
2 each, you
ship
reckon?
one-
I have
each,
two
yeah.
grey eyes.
What?
Grey
What?
eyes?
Yeah, two grey eyes.
Yes.
Is that because you're old?
I just found them in someone's head.
Oh,
Terrible.
did you keep those?
They're still in my inventory.
Terrifying.
You're just like searching through your pockets. Ew, what's this?
Assume they're a little dry now.
Yeah. Unless you spit on them. Spit shine them. Anyway. But they're probably decayed. Anyway. Yes, 2 Mithril Hall. We're bringing some ale. A lot of people probably know that we've killed a few big boys. Let's see if they will let us in this time. They let us in a little bit, but only like Queen, right? And then straight out, I think. Can't remember.
Yes.
Queen
Something like that.
Dagnabbit.
Yeah. I love that name. Dagnabbit. Alright.
So are we just parking outside? Like, how close are we getting before we land?
Not close. We don't really want them to know. They already accused us of being in the Arcane Brotherhood rightfully. So we probably don't want to associate ourselves with Klaus followers. Even though we have like repainted it, but still, they probably know. They have a dragon there. Let's be real.
Oh yeah, the silver one that sings when it speaks.
Yes. Let us go there.
Because we have to walk up a hill, so we'll land there and then walk up.
Yeah. Sounds good. we're gonna park near Mithril Hall, and then trek the rest of the way. Are you pinging Rivermoot? Because that's still like a day's journey to Mithril Hall.
And just like off the mountain a little bit.
It's like
All right. So are you merely flying to Rivermoot and then you're going to walk up the mountain?
I
Still a good
guess.
30 or 40 miles. It'll still it'll actually be quicker to fly to Rivermoot than it will to walk up the mountain. But,
Yeah, I thought just at the bottom of the mountain would do.
Yeah, probably. Makes
I mean,
sense.
they'll probably see the airship, but they
Okay,
already know we
yeah.
have it. There's no point
Yeah, I
trying to
guess.
hide it.
Lettuce is a vegetable. Let's do that. Park towards the bottom of the mountain and
So
then
just sort of like
trek
here.
up. Yeah. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
all right. So yeah, you land in one of the last clearings, a place that's been cleared by goats and roth and sheep, a little bit of shepherd territory, and the brave little dwarven children come out against the advice of their granddaddies and grandmamas to watch as this great big vessel lands. A couple of hill dwarves that do a bit of farming at the base of the mountain, keep a bit of water in the area, make sure the wolves don't get too big and the bears don't get too aggressive and so on. So yeah, you bring down your ship, but no sooner have you landed than people have seen you. Do you then go on to slaughter all of the dwarven villages so that no word of your arrival can
We'll
get
fly by fireball.
out? Alright.
No, we'll just cast disintegrate out the side to a random child.
This be a lesson to you.
People who have done nothing wrong and have never seen us before.
Where's Zentara? Yeah, look us up.
That's it. Yep. So I'll do Rary's telepathic bond before we land. And I'll put everyone in it. Because it's up to 8 creatures.
Wonderful.
Storm Priest comes out and starts like not really praying so much as like saying doom and gloom, the storm has come, oh, woe be unto ye, and sort of gnashing his teeth and wailing.
Doomsaying.
That's it. Soothsayer comes out.
No, we always have a doomsayer in the party. Go somewhere else.
we hire him.
He says doom a lot. He says it in different pitches. Doom. Doom.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Doom.
Yeah, anyway. So yeah, you bring your ship down, and the dwarves are fascinated, but also equally guarded. They get their crossbows and their shield walls up. They don't open fire, but they prepare to return fire if you prove to be hostile.
Worry not. We're going to visit Mithril Hall.
They say, you are going to meet with Queen Dagnebbit.
That's the plan. We need to know. We're planning an assault on the fire giants.
Yes, we had heard that there were travelers getting around in a sky ship hunting giants. That there were many females around this area, but they all disbanded when their chief was slain. We owe you a great deal. You have brought peace to our lands, even though you have not been here.
You owe us little. Nothing, rather.
Well, just as well then, as we don't have much except for some turnips, bit of wool. I've got some glowing moss. Would you like some glowing moss?
What is the glowing moss?
It is a magical moss that glows pretty prolifically in the Underdark. But up here, you can only be found at the edge of the moonwood where it grows underneath fungi.
Awesome, yeah, sure.
thanks.
I
Hey.
pull out a cask and invite them all to drink.
Oh, they think it's fantastic. They wet their thirst and they serve up some warm bread that's fresh from the oven. It's still a bit soft because it's so fresh, and then they add a bit of honey to it. They tell you about bees. They go on and on about how good bees are. Oh, they got a bad reputation, bees. They kill a lot of people. It's true, but oh, they give us honey. Yeah, generally have a pleasant luncheon with these dwarven peasants. They've already sent riders off ahead on their little goats to warn of your coming, or rather to prepare for your coming. No, no trouble at all. I'll just send just a couple of. No, they're not scouts per se. They're like heralds. Yeah, that's right. Town criers. Aye. And so they send off a couple of goat riders up ahead so that your coming won't surprise any forward.
Amazing. I love goat riders.
You'd like the Hobbit then?
Yeah, I do like the Hobbit.
But you'll hear in your head. You won't speak it like, we need to get going. Like, we can't stand around speaking to peasants forever.
You cannot. But they offer, however, to look after your airship for a fee.
I gesture to like the staff aboard the airship. Oh, they're not coming.
You're parking in our land. This is our territory. We've got parking fees.
They'll take off. It's all right.
How many people land? How many airships land in your field that you have to set this up?
Well, I figure it's a growth industry. You get bottom rates. Our first customer.
He'll just size like, okay, how much for parking in your field?
They want 50 gold, and then like you can come and go as you please.
I don't think I even have 50 gold. Yeah, I do. Never mind.
They'll put up a little glowing markers for you so that you can find them in the dark.
Glowing moss markers.
That's right. You got it.
What is it? What letter is it in the shape of?
Maybe like an AE. You know, those how you put the A and the E together, because that's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the magical out of that one.
So just so that I understand, if we pay until the end of time, we can land our airship in this field.
That's right. For 1 month.
For 1 month, he's changed his deal already.
Make it a year, dear. Oh, okay. For 1 year. $50 for a year. You can come and go as you please.
How about some of this shampoo and conditioner?
I don't need it. But the women look at it with fondly. This could be a great opportunity for them to make their beards look more beautiful. Yeah, some of the ladies are getting sold on your shampoo and conditioner.
I'll tell the men that like it'll boost their beard growth as well, longer and stronger.
Really? Oh, look, okay, you've sold them, but they're going to need enough for everyone, even the youngins. My 10-year-old son, he's getting his first chin hairs. I want him to grow thick and illustrious.
I only have 12.
It'll have to do. All right, so they'll let you camp, park here. They'll set up some little glowing moss stones for all of your shampoo and conditioner.
Amazing.
All right.
Deal is
Happy
done.
Hawks. Deal is done. And we go off following in the wake of some goat riders. Do we have any goats ourselves? You want to buy some goats?
Should we?
We don't need a goat,
Is it-
Averdale.
I don't think we need goats.
10 gold apiece.
It'll make climbing easier.
Fuck, those are expensive goats.
Do we get to keep them?
Yeah, absolutely. They're big goats. They're giant goats.
That's how buying things works, Averdale.
It is. They're not ready.
I thought it was a height, maybe.
No. Size of a buffalo. So the size of a cow. You get a big riding goat, and it's trained to have riders.
Aradel's lazy and he doesn't really want to walk up the mountain, so he'll buy a mountain goat.
All right. 10 gold pieces each.
As long as I can guarantee that I'm able to ride it.
Oh, well, unless you're a shit rider, that's not the goat's fault.
There you go, 10 gold, and I get a goat.
The goat is extremely uncomfortable and it doesn't like you. And it constantly stops to eat.
Oh well, saves my feet.
What do you expect as a goat?
Yeah, it's a goat.
So we're slowed down a little bit by Aradel's goat. Even though it could potentially run faster than any of us, it ends up slowing us down to about a 20-foot speed because it just stops to eat everything.
I try to spur it on by like making a glowing moss on a stick.
It works for a while, but the goat seeps through it after a couple of minutes. Anyone else getting goats? No?
Goal I got.
Walk.
Yeah, fuck it, let's get a goat.
Your goats hate each other and they spend a lot of their time butting heads with each other. They just, anytime that they get anywhere near each other, they cut heads and they have to keep correcting.
Damn.
They are very annoying, these particular goats, and they don't like any of you. And by the end of it, it's unlikely that any of you like them. You get about halfway, you reach that bakery. Remember the bakery? It's got
Shame
the
I
mill and
can't
everything.
disintegrate both of them.
Indeed,
Make us go faster.
And if you do disintegrate just one of them, the other one will think that it did a good job. You don't want to give a goat that kind of pride, man. You don't want to make it. So remember halfway, there's like a bakery up the hill. Anyway, they wave you on. They brew a fine beer here. They want you to stop for an afternoon tea, but you're halfway there already.
I have a cup of tea.
All right. Fortified bakery. The dwarves catch up on you. Yeah, you came through here. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. Before you bloody took care of that vagabond. Remember he was the dwarf Weevil Tongue. Blah blah blah. Anyway. And so they give you some honey cakes for your journey and some beer and they send you off again. They got nothing to tell you. They just want to hear the latest in your own adventures.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. And by the time you reach the top of the mountain, you've already had to explain yourselves to some dwarven guards, some cavalry that could easily headbutt you straight off the side of the cliff if they wanted to. They have to get past your goats first, but anyway. So yeah, these armored dwarf cavalry, they come out and challenge you. Well, tell me specifically why you've come up here with your war band and your magic staves.
Well, we have come to speak to Queen Dagnabbit and to gain information about the fire giants.
They hum and ha and they delay you for a while, but you are who you are, and so they cannot deny you this opportunity for too long. So you get to the surface, and you find Settlestone. Settlestone is a small village of dwarves. It's got the gates to Mithril Hall, which are currently closed. And Settlestone is like a farming village where they grow the grain and the crops and the livestock and the vegetables that will keep the fortress provisioned during times of siege and everyday life for that matter. What do you do while you're here?
Okay, he's not here for. He's just here to get the information. So he wants to go straight to the gate.
You are stopped by a red-bearded dwarf. He appears to be some kind of priest, although he doesn't look like a conventional priest. He's a little rougher, he's a little redder, and has a bit of an outdoorsman, mountaineer quality to him.
Any recognizable holy symbols on him?
Yeah, Jumatoin, I believe, the god of. No, I might be wrong. I can't remember. Anyway, he is a holy man, that's for sure. Mahamodu.
doing?
Yeah, that's it. Like a nature god among the dwarves. the god of travel and adventure.
All right then. What's all this about? Ain't seen you lot here before.
We're here to speak to the Queen.
And who's looking to see her?
Me. Can you hear me?
No, not just him, all of us.
Well, I don't know who me is, so I guess you're out of luck. Off you go.
Is there anyone else I can speak to?
Can I see your
You're
manager?
speaking to the Sheriff of Settlestone here. Thank you very much.
And I'm here to speak to the Queen.
About?
The whereabouts of the fire giants, and I'm here to give her something as well.
Oh. You're about them giants, are you? What do you know about them giants then?
That we are killing innocent folk, and we are putting a stop to it.
You know, they've been traipsing down from the mountains, been digging all manner of things up.
They seek to build the Vodendod, a powerful weapon, and it is in all of our best interests to prevent that.
All right, well, if you're here to see the Queen about the giants, I suppose I can see if she'll see you. I'll let you inside the gates and you can wait around and I'll go talk to the Queen.
Very well.
Shall I be introducing you as anyone in particular or just me?
The Bulwark of the North.
Was a fancy title. How'd you get that one?
By killing dozens of giants.
All right. How many giants?
At least 20.
Too many to count. Oh.
Does Roz know?
Roz does know. So I'll say that number.
I'll be back in a minute.
Probably like 35 or something, maybe. No, might be more than that. No, it must be more than that. Like, you just killed like 20 frost giants alone.
So we'll say 40 and call it.
Yeah. 40 to 50.
40?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. You almost had my record of 41 beat.
we also dispatched the Queen of the Hill Giants and the King of the Frost.
I killed a few kings and queens as well. Nothing to brag about.
Of giants?
Of course, of giants. What did you think I mean?
Thought maybe you were an insurrectionist.
I'll have none of that talk out of you. It's difficult enough being fucking Priest of Mirthammer doing out here.
Priests normally get sheriff jobs.
Aye. Well, I don't know. Suppose I'm the first.
Well, I bid you adieu as you tell the Queen.
Aye, sit yourself down. We'll get you some of Bugman's best.
It takes more than half an hour for the gates to open. It's about a 45-minute process by the time the order to open the gates is given, by the time it's actually safe to enter. Mithril Hall itself is larger than the population would indicate. There's a lot of empty space, a lot of room to grow. There are anvils that are still cold, or forges that are still cold, rather, anvils that are still quiet. Shop fronts that have been sealed for 100 years and may or may not ever be opened again. But within here, what industry there is of the finest quality. Mithril Hall deserves its name. There is a silver sheen to much of the place, provided sometimes by sterling silver or by polished steel, but sometimes by the real deal, by the mithril from which the place draws both its name and the entirety of its economy. So the wonders of Mithril Hall are something that could be expanded on for hours on end. But you haven't come here to see the architecture, nor to compare it to the industrial heartland of Mirabar. Rather, you're here to see the Queen. And after a period of questioning and counter-questioning and interrogation and re-interrogation, you have your weapons and other magical devices confiscated from you, and if you refuse, you won't be getting to see the Queen afterwards.
Do they take my walking stick away?
If it glows with detect magic, they take it away.
It doesn't glow with magic?
Then they can keep it.
Does
Fools, you
the
didn't
necklace
take his stuff.
does the necklace of detection thing, whatever it's called?
Non-detection?
that?
No. It's invisible to divination, to detect magic to divination.
Yeah, okay, I thought so. Cool.
The hammer glows so brightly that the dwarves they realise what it is. There can be no mistaking exactly what this is. This belongs in a museum or in the hands of a king. You're not fit to carry such a thing.
Laura, stand outside.
That's fair enough. They look on jealously. They wanted to carry it even just for a while, but you deny them that pleasure.
They wanted to get their hands over it.
Just to feel what it's like, but no. All right. So, anyone else unprepared to strip down?
I guess.
Weil is also going to stay outside. These dwarves are kind of grabby at their gear.
Can I give you my bag then?
Yeah, I'll hold your stuff.
Okay, I'll give him my bag and my glasses and my everything
That's
else.
not how it works, the dwarves. We get to take it.
But you just said you'd deny us if we went. No.
Never mind.
Yeah, people are staying outside. The stuff that would be confiscated to them as well.
Indeed.
It's obviously a loophole then. It's very easy to exploit.
This is
Does the amulet stop things that I'm wearing detected as well, or just?
You have to read the specific.
Called proof of non-detection. Amulet.
It's you can't be targeted by.
Yeah.
Divination spells.
Detection and location. Proof against detection and location. Cool. Alright. Answer my question. Cool.
I think. Does the necklace itself come up magically on the item?
I thought it functioned the way non-detection did, which means that they don't respond to divination magic. That's how I thought they would.
While wearing this amulet, you were hit with divination magic. You can't be targeted by such magic or perceived through magical scrying sense.
So it shouldn't active. So if someone casts detect magic, then your objects won't glow. But if they were to take your sword away, then it would glow. Kind of like an invisibility spell, like your sword is invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So So what can I say? You can take in your weapons, your magic stuff. It would kind of be against the law. It would be like carrying a pistol to a presidential rally, something like that. but yeah, your non-detection spell means that you'll get away with it.
I'll hand over my staff of withering, and that's it.
Alright.
I have to give them my magic symbol, but I have a regular non-magical one.
Yeah, good idea. Back up against the batteries right now.
Yeah, basically.
Roz will he'll hand over his weapons too and all his magical goodies.
Brilliant. They admire the marksmanship and quality. And
Sure.
yeah, They consider you are important people. But still killers.
They're capable. All right.
Like imagine like you're the mafia just turned up, or the Yak-uza princes, and they all start disarming themselves with the nickel-plated pistols and the diamond-bladed katanas and stuff. That's what it's like when you guys rock up. The hammer of thunderbolts, does it glow?
Yes, but
But I think either way, like it's still a weapon.
oh yeah, Lura's staying outside with it anyway.
And it'll glow for take magic like really brightly. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah. So you were Lura's out there with wild gold. You'll be safe. Okay, so there you are before the Queen. She has some of her advisors with her, and if you know that the courtesy is to kneel, is there anyone who doesn't do that?
He'll do it, but like the smallest amount that would be like allowed by the court.
Kneeling means getting down, taking a knee. It's not a bow; it's a deliberate action. It's pretty hard to half kneel.
I thought
a
like
squat.
yeah, now I know what it means.
Yeah.
They want us to kneel?
Yeah, that's right. It would like it's not that they don't ask you, but
They're expecting it.
Exactly. If you know anything about dwarven culture, you'll know that the first thing you do when you come before the king, or in this case the queen, is kneel. That's just
Cool. Yeah, I'll
common
kneel.
form.
Both knees.
Yep.
One knee and then you'll stand up again.
Yep. One knee and stand.
I'm still the same height as Prophet kneeling, so it's okay.
All right. Everybody else takes the knee.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome to Mithril Hall. What's your name again? Wardens of the North.
Bulwark.
Bulwark. Welcome to Mithril Hall, Bulwark of the North. You come at a time of grave tidings, but ever is your hour upon you. I hear you have done great things in the lands to the south, clearing out the hill giants and going after the Dodkong. And the last I heard, you even sunk the Kriegswind and traded in the head of the Jarl of the Frost Giants. Your reputation precedes you, Bulwark of the North. To what do we owe your presence in our fine and ancient hall?
We turn our attention to the fire giants and preventing them from building the Vodendod.
Aye, it is, alas, to do with the Vodendod that we have our own problem. But enough of our problems. They can be revealed in time. Why have you come to us in this hour, other than divine providence and destiny, the fates blowing you here?
Because we know that you may have information about the fire giants, and you have helped us in the past. Wait, just out. This was the place we took the other piece of the Vodendod, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, like we have provided other parts of the Vodendod for you to deconstruct in the past. We're hoping for you to assist us now.
We have discovered that the fire giants lair up in the ice spires, just shy of 300 miles from here. And as a result, they don't threaten us so directly, nor so immediately. It's Citadel Adbar and Citadel Felbar and Sundabar that stand in the way of their direct assaults. Dead Snows is a very small town, and Newfort is barely worth its name. But the citadels and the city of Sundabar, there, when the Voden Dode is complete, you can be sure that they shall be the test run, the first targets for its devastating power.
And we choose not to wait until they become a threat. We will take them out now.
You must, for the Voden Dode is almost ready to be started up and sent into battle. They have not yet finished the construction. They have not yet manufactured replacement parts for those pieces that they cannot find or that they cannot take. Then she gestures towards the sectors that you brought them, which remain here in the royal court as trophies. They but graver news still, for there has been a great robbery, and now we fear that the fire giants have their fuel source for this great machine of destruction and catastrophe.
What was taken? And how did they steal it?
This is a secret among our people, and I have been advised not to share the information with you. A racial secret, a state secret, one passed down from king to king to king again. And now I, the first queen, am breaking this sacred rule. I can only tell you that I've weighed it on my conscience gravely to reveal this to you, but after all the goodness that you've done, you place yourselves at the center of this war of the giants. I'd be remiss not to include you in the whole history.
And there's no point keeping secrets if no one is alive to keep them.
Yes. The nearby city of Gauntlgrim lies beneath the surface of the world, and it's a place so magnificent that Mithril Hall seems like but a single room, and is in its all of its the splendor of a great city. Gauntlgrim is one of the grandest constructions any civilization has ever come up with, and we are proud to be descended directly from those same dwarves that manufactured one of the wonders of the world. Well, one of the reasons why Gauntlgrim was such a productive place was because it had the hottest forges anywhere in the world. Hotter than lava they were, primordially hot. And that's the key word here. You see, at the dawn of time, there was a primordial, a rival to the gods, an elemental creature of such titanic power that it manifested here and became trapped within Gauntlgrim's forges. Well, we used it to our advantage to fashion the finest magical steels and bronze that could be smelted anywhere in existence. Enchanted they were by the fueling fires of this ancient primordial, and it remained there for millennia, long after our citizens fell, long after Gauntlgrim was abandoned. It laid there, trapped, held in stasis, trapped within the forges, unable to escape through magic nor might, never able to breach the defenses put in place. Until now, the Dark Elves have broken in, and they brought with them a very powerful item called an iron flask. It serves to trap creatures of great potency like genies and elemental princesses, and demon lords even. And it can trap them in these iron flasks. And the Drow, they infiltrated Gauntlgrim, and they managed to get access to this ancient primordial, and they sucked it in to the iron flask, and now they keep it. I fear that the Drow are working for the fire giants. We captured one of their number, and before their art gave out, they confessed. It might be a bunch of lies. We don't know how much we can trust. But they told us that in the ice spires, the fire giants, whom we always knew were there, close to the edge of their construction, and they're going to use this primordial spirit as the heart, as the blood or the life force for this great machine. And when it's done, they're going to send the machine into a great war against the dragon and eradicate the dragons from the world once and for all. And if civilization is destroyed in the process, well, so be it. This machine they're making, it's 100 feet tall, a solid adamantium, it cannot be harmed. It's said to fire death rays from its eyes. The greatest worms could not bring it down.
You say Citadel Adbar is on the firing line?
Citadel Adbar and Feldbar and Sundabar. Aye, Adbar would probably be the first. That's the logical choice, but fire giants are brilliant strategists, and they may decide that it's wiser to emerge from the south and attack north. You cannot truly speculate. You cannot second guess them. They are among the greatest generals in any age.
Would you be willing to grant us like a letter or a missive that we may speak and meet with the leaders of the citadels?
Oh, I suppose so, but I've got to tell you that they're not going to be much interested in anything you've got to say. You see, the Silver Marches was a dream that went bad, became a nightmare. They tried to build a new nation with Silvery Moon as its capital. The dwarves were doing the bulk of the heavy lifting, both in the economy and in the military. They always felt it was a bit of a bad idea. There was a lot of resistance among the dwarves against the Silver Marches, but in the end, politics won out. They gave it a try, and it fell dismally. We were part of the Silver Marches. We here in Mithril Hall, our allegiance to Silvery Moon never wavered. But the Citadels, Felbar and Adbar and Sundabar, they want no part of us Westerners anymore. They swear off anything that's got to do with Silvery Moon or racial integration, and they got no time for Mithril Hall neither. They know that we're willing to work with elves and humans and whoever else comes along. But over there in the eastern provinces, you're either one of them or you're not.
I guess we should just search for where these fire giants are then.
I'm sure if you stand from above with your hive ship, you should come across some clue that can't be seen from down below. It can't be that easy to hide a whole civilization to giants.
I believe they live underground. They're trying to drag the adamantine piece into tunnels.
Oh, they must have some sort of a fortress or something on the surface, don't you think?
It's best not to guess. That's why we came to you.
Yes, you're right. Well, I can tell you where they can be found at least. The ice spires. Of that you can be sure.
Thank you for your assistance. Then I guess we should be on our way.
Before we leave, I have something for you. And I'll hand her one of the coins, the party minted coins.
Single coin, not much in the way of tribute.
This coin, it's one of the special party ones, has something on one side, and I can't remember what was on the party minted coins.
It's a storm giant head on one side, and it's got two swords underneath its head, and the other side I think just says Bulwark of the North.
Oh, and we have mead for you as well.
Oh, how stereotypical.
Is it? You don't want it?
Do you think that we're all alcoholics or something because we're dwarves?
The dwarves at the base of the mountain enjoyed it.
Oh, look, we'll take your gift. Thank you very much.
And I'll explain the coin is just, I guess, proof that they are on our side.
Yeah, well, she promises to keep it safe,
Well, I guess
but
a
it's
symbol
pretty
that
clear.
of their promise to help us.
Yeah, yeah. They explain the significance to her, and she'll keep it somewhere safe. But she doesn't seem to regard it with that much importance or reverence. If there's battles to be had in the old silver marches, then you can be sure Mithril Hall will represent.
Do any of you others have anything to say, or can we leave?
I think that's it, right?
I believe so.
All right. Well, you can travel back down the mountain, go down to your little airstrip, the airport.
I was hoping to
Mithril
buy
Hall
something
Airport.
on the way out.
Yeah, sure. That's fine too.
I was going to buy some like potions of haste and things.
Yeah, potions of haste. You probably could have got them from the witch anyway. So in any case, yeah, potion of haste is 750 gold.
I don't trust the witch.
Ah, good call. Yeah, no worries. They don't have a lot of potions here, but they do have two. So
Good call.
all right. So we know our destination, at least within 100 miles, which is pretty big, I guess. But what comes next?
Fly to the spine of the
Well,
world.
We just want to fly there and look, have a peek, look around.
I spy mountains. Hey, I've got very good peeking ability.
Yeah, but you can't see
That's the
something that's
plan?
under the ground.
That's you guessing that it's not like a fortress on the side of a mountain.
Yeah, but you want to go 300 miles without knowing either way.
Well, it's either go there or go to the dwarves at Citadel Felbar or Adbar and maybe get turned away. Okay, we either go then for a cursory glance first, and then to the dwarves if we can't find it, or go to the door. Like it's just an order of operations. What do you want to do?
Which one we try to get information first.
Citadel Felbar or Citadel Adbar? They're way
Adbarb's
closer.
Then more likely to know.
But it's also very close to Ascor.
You wide Immelwith will come and knock our ship out of the air.
She's already sent gargoyles to
Well, if
chat
we wanted
with
to
us
do it
before.
herself, she would have done it.
Well, we'll see. Let's go to Adbar then.
Any objections?
Oh, it sounds like a plan.
Well, I guess how fast does the airship move?
70 miles a day, I'm pretty sure.
Watch me do math. It's cool.
5 days. Okay. So which one are we going to? Adbar or Felbar?
We're going to Adbar.
Okay, give me a moment. Take a few minutes to refresh my memory.
It's about right. No, that's not right.
All right. Yeah, okay. Do a bit more reading.
Short break then?
Shouldn't be necessary.
Okay, that should be a better line.
Yeah, no, that's good enough. All right. So yeah, 5 days it'll take you. You're threatened by wyverns at one stage, but there's only 2 of them, and you'll be able to bring them down without a problem. Unless you specifically wanted to, harvest them or something like that, then that could make it a little more difficult. But if all you want to do is drive them off, then it's a non-encounter. What do you say?
I'm fine just driving them off.
Yeah, the wyverns. You go and find easier pickings elsewhere. Citadel Adbar is a fortified place, to say the least. It is virtually impregnable. It stands up against the ice mountains, the great white frozen mountains. They're carved out of a mountain spur, a couple of great towers ringed with spikes that prevent flying creatures from landing and attacking the structure. A great chimney that's constantly blurting out black smoke from the central foundry. There's much smoke as a volcano that's ready to erupt. Host of platforms and battlements and arrow slits. A great drawbridge. Dwarven patrols and enclaves. A town to support it and farmland beyond that. This place, when you also consider that they've no doubt got exits into the Underdark, makes this place so impossible to take that you'd be mad to even try to bother. And yet they've got a lot of country to cover, and it's pretty clear that they don't have enough soldiers to man every section of the wall and every tower and still maintain forces in the field. So it's quite clear that there's more defences than there are defenders. Your arrival or your approach fills them with a great deal of anticipation, agitation. They begin loading siege weapons, ballista and catapults and trebuchets and everything, as if to deter you before you can come into their sphere of influence.
Yeah, we'll just land out of range and walk in then.
All right, they come out on their ponies, knights with lances and axes and flails and shields, full plate armor, and they threaten you with arrest more or less. They go on list of laws that you didn't know exist that you've broken. such as violating airspace, landing in a without a permit, unauthorized bearing of weapons, association with goblins, that sort of stuff.
Who's the goblin? I don't see it.
They don't get smart with us, little kobold. You all fall under the goblinoid banner around here.
We are here to seek passage into your city. We seek knowledge.
They have a good mind to deny it to you.
Do you know of the Vod and Dodd?
They know well enough.
So you know what great threat it poses to your city, and we're here to prevent that?
They accompany you back to the city walls. They pass on the message to their superiors, who pass it on to their superiors. And after having to wait for about 45 minutes at the gates, you're finally given permission to enter into the citadel. And presuming that you're not here to do any further shopping or to see the sights, it doesn't take long before you're summoned before the king.
And this is the citadel advert is all mostly dwarven, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Sunderbar is dwarves and humans. The Citadel Adbar, Citadel Bar, they're pretty much only.
So he'll do like the one knee and stand up like he did before, like in Mithril Hall.
All right. Once again, they've confiscated all of your weapons for this. Anything that's magical, they take it off you. Those of you who are kneeling before this king, the king is attended by a massive court. There's 20 nobility, all dwarven males. There's like 20 dwarven nobles hanging around with their plate mail and their chain mail and their fine embroidered silks. There's more guards on top of all of that. Guards specifically for the king. He holds a very open court with a whole bunch of councillors that they want an explanation for what you're doing in their region. I know you've been through it a few times already. You've already explained yourselves over and over again to different NPCs, but when an airship lands up in the vicinity of one of the most powerful fortresses in the world, it's exactly right. And these guys are not Mithril Hall. They're not friendly.
We are here to kill the king of the fire giants and destroy their machine of destruction.
Very good. That is why I brought you in here, says the king. Because we have been enemies of Ironslag, the fire giant forge in the mountains, for a very long time. They have been dragging large fragments of adamantine to their underground forge. It had been abandoned until the recent times. We thought it was abandoned. But they have begun reforging this golden dode. And if it should ever be finished, then we are all finished.
And it is our duty to destroy it. We come seeking it, if you have the knowledge of its location, so we may assault it.
We need you to bring us Duke Zalto's head, or bring us any dwarven prisoners that you find within their mines. The fire giants have a mine near the surface. Look for the 1,000 Stairs. It is the longest staircase anywhere in the world, except maybe Karatur, I don't know. 1,000 Stairs will lead you to the giants' mines. They have orcs and they have ogres and other slaves, dwarves. They don't have humans. They die too quickly when they take them.
How is it you spelled that name, he said?
Zalto.
Oh, Zolta? Oh, that's pretty simple.
Alto.
And he's the king.
Maltavano. He is a duke. Duke Zalta.
Duke Zolto.
I can reward you with powerful magic. We are the greatest smiths anywhere in the world. If you name your price, then we can do it for you.
We need no price to kill fire giants. It is our duty.
There is something that should be done anyway, and if you can get rid of Duke Zolto for us, Citadel Adbar will thank you, if only to feel as if our debt is paid.
So look for these stairs.
There in the mountains, you will find a staircase called 1,000 Stairs. There is more than 1,000, but the number, I don't know anyone ever count them.
Are they giant size?
No, they are made for the normal person, for the slave of the giant.
Reassuring.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have anything to say? It seems we have our task.
You could ask them as a favor to reinforce Morven. They seem to be good at protecting things.
They're quite far away and short-handed by the looks. I don't think that's a thing they may be able to
But
do.
you have a point.
After all this,
we are quite. Since we travel a lot, we are quite well informed. We are building a network to support the outer villages and cities. Would you be willing to join this network so that we may send you messages that certain villages or cities may be attacked, that you may go out and assist them?
He looks around his court and you see several of the patriarchs shaking their heads. No, we do not support this. He looks back to his counselors and they make a couple of hand gestures. We would be willing to offer you land up here in this valley, nearby. Any protection you can bring to these lands is good for us. And he looks around the counselors again just to make sure that he's not offending anyone. And for the most part, they seem to be going along.
We are not here to gain land. We're here to protect people's lives. And if you cannot provide that, we will go elsewhere.
We are protecting our own lives up here. Enough blood was given in the War of the Silver Marchers, and he says, and he's rallying his people. And the councilors all agree. Enough blood was given in the War for the Silver Marchers. We do not need to spill blood for Westerners and Waterdeep anymore.
But if they fall, you will fall too.
We will be the first to fall when the Golden Dode is finished. We will not have to wait for the rest of you.
But if we do our task, hopefully that can be prevented.
Then build a castle here. Settle in these lands. We are offering you free land. Why you would not take it,
Wild's here, isn't he?
Yes, Wild's here.
I'll say taking land is his thing. Point at Wild.
It's a bit far away from the Zymorven Hall. It's not really an interest to me.
Then let's get going. We have giants to kill.
Thank you for the information.
Yeah. He looks around his counselors, and they're not very happy, but they're happy enough. When your job is done, come back, and you will be rewarded.
We shall see if we will return.
All right. Remember to bring the dwarven slaves as you are leaving. We have lost many people up there. Your people are weak and will die easily, but ours are strong and can endure such punishment.
Alright. We will do. Need dwarven slaves. Prisoners.
Bit over a day later, you're flying over the ice spires.
Cold.
Cold and clear. There are very few in the way of clouds today. The wind is blowing very strongly though, and so your crew is working hard to keep her steady. We're a little bit worried that white dragons are just going to appear on the horizon, but we don't spot any. Aradel has our highest passive perception, I think.
It is 28.
Fuck me. Alright. Okay, with the 28 you will spot this picture.
They've got a painting just propped up.
They do. It's an oh no, that's the wrong picture. That's this picture.
28 is only visually. 23 all other senses.
Two. That's the wrong picture. God, where are all these pictures? Alright. Spot this picture in Discord. It looks like a collection of villages at the top of two great barrel-shaped mountains, connected by a series of platforms, a little watermill, as you can see, and the whole thing is at the top of a enormous staircase. It is so high that by the time it gets halfway, it just looks like it's flat. It looks like a ramp. No longer even looks like a staircase.
I pull out the spyglass to get a nice closer look.
Now you can see each individual staircase. Fuck yeah. You like that? I can see every stair with this thing. Do you like this?
Start counting.
Okay, I'll start counting. Probably don't get to the end before I give up. Is it like, are those buildings giant sized or are they regular
Not.
person
They're that's right, quite regular. They look like yurts or little, fairly simple structures.
hovels?
Yeah, semi-temporary.
So are we landing at the bottom of the stairs and walking up so we can remain stealthed and the unaware of us?
I feel if it's like a sort of slave camp or something, or maybe an ally of this fire giants camp, that if we flew there, we'd probably get pelted down with stones from giants.
How many of us can fit in with the slaves?
Pardon?
Probably all of us, to be honest. We could.
Or fit in with the slaves.
Yes, probably
Well,
all of
I'm
us.
going. I still have my giant goat, so climbing these stairs aren't a problem for me.
They're just stairs.
Over 1,000 though. Have you tried walking up that many stairs before?
I'm sure I've climbed that number in my considerable life.
These are like giant stairs to you.
No, oh yeah, because they're normal person stairs.
But this obstacle must still be surpassed if we are to succeed. But looking at this village, like, why do the slaves stay? Why don't they just run?
Who knows? We don't even know if it's actually a slave village. No. These questions can wait until we get there, I'm sure.
Okay, land at the bottom, walk up.
Yes. We land at the bottom.
Alright.
When we get there, can I just look around for maybe giant tracks?
Let's see.
Roz will assist you.
Yeah, good idea.
Thank you. I'll give myself guidance as well. Would you like me to roll survival?
Go ahead.
Not bad.
All right. While you're looking around for the fire giant tracks, which you do find, you can see where several huge feet, 5 foot long feet, were brought in, and they were dragging things that are so heavy that they can drag it like a plough. So there's definite egress here as the fire giants have gone out, found pieces of the Voden and Doden, and dragged them back here. But you needn't have wasted all your time looking at the ground, because you find that there is this huge pair of adamantine doors that are built into the side of this mountain, this Mount Hammerhast. They don't appear to be able to be opened. There's no door knocker, for example. Presumably, they can only be opened from inside. But this set of doors looks like magnificent dwarven doors, but on a truly titanic scale. And who else would put a set of doors inside of a mountain than a fire giant?
And that's right next to the stairs.
Pretty close to it. Yeah. I'll try to get a more exact description, but these doors are carved into the base of the cliff, so you guys they're kind of like on eye level with them, and the stairs begin nearby. They're carved into the mountainside, probably about 1,500 feet away. So the stairs and the iron gate are not right next to each other, but they're close enough that in a panorama view you can see both at the same time.
Well, I assume that's where the giants are.
And then that's where we need to be.
I don't know if anyone can open that, so the entrance or...
Oh,
I can open it.
Roz, how thick do you reckon that door is?
Well, a bit hard to tell. I'll give it a bang, and I imagine it's pretty thick.
50 feet?
You would know this, Roz. You know that it was designed to keep out ancient dragons.
Yeah, well, I don't think you're getting in this one. But with my
I can
help.
open it. I can open it.
It might be a
Alright.
pull door rather than a push, though.
Well, I can do both.
From the outside?
Yep. Watch this. He tries his best to push, and if that doesn't work, he tries to pull, but probably doesn't
Alright.
work either.
So from where we've landed the ship, we're still, like you can see these doors and the staircase a mile away, literally a mile. You don't need to be right up there. So Wild Gold begins the 1 mile journey to walk over towards the doors.
Just to prove you can open the door.
He'll fucking do it too.
Probably be going about 20 minutes, something like that.
I'll go with him.
Alright. We might as well. I suppose this is the start of our journey over.
Alright.
Everybody going.
Can I start counting steps?
Is adamantine magical?
Not exactly. Yeah, not exactly.
No, it's not magical. It's just hard as fuck.
Yeah.
So if we spend.
It's counted as magical.
Oh, it is
But
counted.
it's not magical. It's kind of funny, isn't it?
I mean, it's not real, so right. So like, is a unicorn magical? I mean, yeah.
I mean, but I was saying we could just disintegrate our way through, over the course of 7 days.
That's. I feel like.
Let's create a mouse hole.
Is
and we
the
do something
door
dumb.
completely flush?
Well, from a mile away, we won't know, but
Oh yeah, true.
they built this thing to last.
If there's even a 1-inch gap, I can sort of spy on it with my eyes of the eagle from a good while away.
Yeah, from as you're approaching it, you get about halfway, 700 foot mark or something, and the thing appears to be flawless and undamaged after 10,000 years after it was forged.
And there's not even a single 1-inch wide space. Probably
If there
not.
was, they would have repaired it.
Hmm. Damn their amazing ingenuity.
Indeed, they're better than the dwarves can ever be.
It's a metal door, and then in like a side of a mountain, right?
Yeah, you'd have an easier time going through the mountain than the door.
Yeah.
Which is really strange. Which is like no one ever thinks of, you know? There's just rock around it. Just
Yeah.
hit the
I
rock.
can just transmute that rock and just go through.
Why doesn't anyone ever think of that? Anyway. I don't think we're going to make it through the door. There's most likely some sort of like service tunnel.
I'll open it, don't worry. When we get up there, I'll open it.
Well, what are you willing to bet?
I don't have much.
All you have?
29 gold, 3 platinum.
I'll take it.
Well, not yet, you won't.
I'll bet all I have, all my gold as well. That you won't be
Well,
able to
alright
open that
then.
door. From this time.
What?
As in, if we got on the other side of it and you opened it, that wouldn't. Bet would be over.
I wasn't even thinking of that.
I think ahead.
I don't.
Well, let's just get to the door and we'll
Okay,
see
I'll
if you can
cast
open it.
Mage Arm on myself and on Jake's Panther.
And I'll
Thanking
cast
you.
Death Ward on myself.
All right. So you cross the mile towards in order to get there, and by the time you can see some figures are coming down the staircase.
Are
Who
they
are
giant
they?
or do they look like more humanoids?
They look like a humanoid with Aerodol's spyglass. You can determine them to be dwarves.
Are they in like ratty clothes?
No, they're in simple clothes, but not ratty.
Are they
Simple Hessian robes.
are they actual dwarves or are they like those fire demon dwarves that we fought in Tribal?
That's too
Ooh.
difficult to determine from this glass.
Alright.
Keep crossing.
Sure. Do we want to approach relatively stealthily? Is there any cover across this ground?
Grass.
Probably not then, huh? I guess we just approach.
By the time you've reached the front door, the dwarves are still only like halfway down the staircase at best. Still got a long way to go. And you're in front of a pair of giant-sized adamantine doors that were built specifically to keep dragons out. That's not even a misnomer. That was the job.
I'm going to stand a good distance away and from and not directly in front of the door while he tries to open it.
Alright, everybody, stand back.
Are we
I might
on the
flick
1,000
these
stairs
doors
yet?
open with enough force to kill you all.
Because I'm going to be counting the 1,000 stairs like if we're walking up them.
We haven't started walking up them
Okay.
yet. We're still.
He's trying the door first.
So the door's at the bottom. Okay. Well, do your thing. Hey, Avidil,
Goes up to open
can
the
you
doors.
not ask Denier to provide him guidance?
I bet on this.
I mean, if you know he can't do it, might as well give him a little bit of assistance.
Oh, it's like not really.
Are you doubting yourself?
I doubt even my assistants or Denier's would do anything.
Then might as well provide it.
I'll give him full strength.
See, he's given him assistance.
strength checks, and you can double your carrying capacity. I'm not sure if that does anything for pushing.
For how long? It does actually do stuff for pushing.
I
An
actually
hour?
never used the spell, so let's have a look. Oh, I thought he was
It's
pushing
1 hour.
now. So yeah, I'll do it just before he pushes. So
Well, that's the end of that. Then Wild goes up to try to open the doors.
All right, so you are standing at the base of a pair of doors designed to be opened by giants. There are no handles, there are no ring pulls, there are no handholds. What do you do?
Try to use his claws to get a good grip into it. Probably
Claws
won't work.
break. Adamantine is too strong for your claws. Yes, it's break off.
Roz! He asks to borrow Roz's adamantine ice pick.
He doesn't have
Roz!
to say that.
Yeah.
I need you. Come here. Come here. Come.
I'm going. What's up?
I broke my claws in the door, and I need you to make a hold so I can grab it. Can you dig it out with your pick?
Well, I'll give it a try. We'll see how we go.
Everybody keep standing back. Just wait on.
Smack, smack.
Bang. Bang. What's a good analogy? Okay, here's one. So, adamantine against adamantine, I guess it's not a bad choice, right? But nothing else is going to damage adamantine but more adamantine. But let me give you an analogy. Imagine trying to bring down a castle made of stone with a hammer also made of stone.
It's a good choice. I agree.
Now that we're a lot closer, how thick is the gate?
How would you be able to tell? When he strikes it with his hammer, it just sounds endlessly thick. Like it doesn't ring, it just absorbs like into the ground.
The only thing Roz can do to figure that out would be ear on the wall, I guess, bang it and try and see how long the bang lasts for.
Yeah,
In a sense,
yeah.
it should hope it's a rough idea.
Yeah, sure. If anyone can work it out, it'll be you. So go ahead and make, I guess, a metalworking check, something like that.
Okay. Wisdom. There we go.
What'd you get?
A 12.
A 12.
What you think?
Yeah, it's impossible for you to say conclusively, but you can be sure that it's nowhere near as thick as it is tall. So these are 50 foot high, these doors. They're not 50 foot thick as well. They might be 10 foot thick, which is hideously thick.
Yep.
But,
my thing is,
it's...
I need them to be under 10 feet thick.
Oh, well, there's no way of telling that.
Okay, well, we can try anyway. Because I asked earlier if adamantine was magic, but because would disintegrate affect it?
I don't know if there's anywhere that said that disintegrate does not affect adamantine, so I'm pretty sure the answer is yes.
I wanted to put the... That's a lot of damage, but I mean, I wanted to put the description in.
Nothing about adamantine in there, right?
That's the wrong spell.
That's some pretty crazy. Disintegrate gives true sight.
I don't know. This is unexpected. All right. Yeah, it's a pretty powerful disintegrate. Gives creatures that reach 2-star, blah blah blah, thin ray, blah blah blah. Creature target takes that damage if it's reduced to 0, it's disintegrated, blah blah.
It's like the last one. If the target is huge or
target-
large
yeah.
object, or
Disintegrates
creation of
10 foot.
force, the spell disintegrates a 10-foot cube portion of it.
Yeah. But a magic item is unaffected. This is a magic item. It doesn't affect it.
Oh, so is that it's adamantine, or is this specifically a magic item?
This is specifically a magic item. This is designed to keep out ancient dragons. It's not just regular adamantine. It's enchanted. Yeah.
Otherwise, red dragons could just melt it down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, otherwise, like given enough time, they get through it inevitably.
So I've cast my most powerful spell already.
So we are not getting through these doors. Clearly, do we want to dig around the door, or do we want to find a different entrance?
I just pointed to the stairs.
Stairs it is.
The dwarves wave at you from hundreds of feet above you. Still got a long way to travel before they reach you.
Should we just wait for the dwarves?
Did Weil even try?
He
No,
did.
no.
Yeah,
His claws broke.
did not work.
You didn't. Were you trying to pull it? Are you?
Wait,
Lyra
did
was
Roz
close.
make like a little handhold while to try to grab and pull?
I can
Oh, yeah,
reassure all of you, you are not getting through this fucking door.
I can get it, I can get it, I can get
No,
it.
you
just
cannot.
gotta make me look. You just gotta make me a handhold.
Lyra just
I
goes up
did, and you
pushes
already
it.
fucked it up.
Oh, god damn it! Why did I do so bad?
Is Aurora supposed to be stronger than you, Wild, and she can't even do it? Well, he can't even do it now.
No, you're not stronger than me.
Have you ever, Laura, have you ever actually hit anything with a big heavy hammer and you get that reverberation feeling through your hands?
Yeah.
Pins and needles? You've got that. Because it didn't give way at all. And your hammer didn't give way. The only thing that did give way is your own hands.
Whoa. I just opened my hand expectantly, looking at Wild.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I won the bet.
Yeah, well, fuck you. 29 gold and 3 platinum is what you get.
All the wealth of Zymorvan Hall now.
I'd empty the coffers for that one, jeez.
Alright. So are we waiting for the doors or are we beginning ascent?
How wide is the stairwell? The stairway?
Not very wide. It's pretty narrow.
Well, I thought we had to get
it's
through the
about
gate to go up
15
the stairs.
No. They're not
Okay.
even connected. They're like hundreds of feet apart from each other. The staircase is about 15 feet wide, although each step is only about 9 inches long. They're very small steps. Yeah, it's a real bitch of a staircase.
I guess up the stairs then.
All right.
Wait for them to come down. We don't want to have an altercation on the stairs.
Well, while they're waiting, can I try something?
We're
If I-
waiting,
if I-
absolutely.
Are we waiting or?
Oh, yeah.
I've suggested it.
Sure, because I want to do something too.
Okay, I guess we'll wait then.
Decision is made.
Just so I understand this correctly, it's a adamantine door in the side of the mountain,
50
rocks
feet high. Yeah.
50 feet high, rock all around it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if it's definitely not going to be 50 feet deep, I'm going to cast Transmute Rock beside the door on the rock, 40
Yeah.
feet in. So 40 feet into the wall turns to mud.
Yeah.
It should slide all out.
You discovered that the rocks have the same, or at least similar enchantments, and your magic doesn't work on them either.
Okay. Just good to know.
Okay. Lyra's gonna clairvoyance behind.
Okay. Yeah, right. So you haven't been there, but it's an obvious location, the other side of this door. How interesting. Okay. Choose seeing or hearing.
Seeing, please.
Or who would ever choose hearing? Come on, that's just ridiculous.
You can, as an action, you can
I
switch.
can
between the
switch in
two.
between too.
Oh, can you? I didn't notice that. Right. Okay, there's actually a picture for this.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. I might describe it because this is a hell of a thing to see. So there are pools of light huddling around lit braziers, like a little burner. They're hanging in niches along the walls. There are iron cables. These iron cables are practically towers, rising up to support a bucket chain that rattles overhead. Like the way you might get water out of a well, that sort of thing, but on a monumental scale. There are basalt pillars, black stone pillars to support the 90-foot high ceiling. And there are iron gantries that are bolted to the walls, 50 feet above the floor. There's an iron staircase along the southern wall, and it climbs up to the western gantries. And the whole thing is like this massive industrial complex, like being inside a steel mill, but fabricated for giants. And in the middle, hanging by huge chains, being steady, tipped taut, so that the whole thing is rigid. In the middle of the room, there is the helmed head and the upper torso of some colossal, monstrous robot. This thing is like 100 feet tall, but it doesn't have any legs. It's 100 feet of arms and shoulders and torso and head. It's absolutely huge, and the whole thing looks like it's made for pure adamantine. And one of its eyes has a ruby as big as your body within it, and the other one empty, like in the picture that I'm going to put in Discord now.
Oh boy.
Whoa.
Finally, that's not all. There is a fire giant here that is dressed in lavish robes. He wears a kind of tiara, like a little crown. He has in his left hand 3 chains, and those chains connect to hellhounds, giant direwolf-sized dogs that breathe fire. And he appears to be enjoying the fear that is being instilled in a bunch of dark elves who he is meeting with. The dark elves have one of them carries a large iron vase, and that iron vase is rattling and shaking. He can barely keep it under control as he holds onto it.
Can I switch to hearing?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you speak either giant or dark elf?
I speak
Giant.
giant.
Yeah, brilliant. They will be speaking giant since it's his courtyard, and the drow are bringing this as an offering. They are bringing this as an offering so that the Vodendode, right? And when it does, the giants will finally have their revenge upon the dragons. And if humans get crushed in the way, well, it's no loss. Because the Storm Giants cannot stop him anymore. There is no Storm King to hold him in place. The ordering has been ruined, and now he will send a message to the giant gods that we are ascended again, and the way he will do that is by waging war with this titanic construct, easily the match for any dragon.
Ooh, he's just gonna give his friends like a look. So I wonder how the drows got in there.
You just sat there chanting for 10 minutes, and now you have like a glazed over look.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say Luro using clairvoyance was like, you only say Luro, don't you?
Mhm.
I thought he used to say other things.
So
He says
just
basic words, but he chooses not to.
yeah, for clarification, everyone here probably heard none of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless Lyra finds a way to describe it.
I mean, if we see him
Presumably
casting a spell,
without
can I
words.
ask him what he's doing? Like, after he's finished casting?
I do the the two finger to the eyeballs through the door.
Yeah, yeah.
You can see through the
Motion.
wall.
Nod, yes.
Maybe something similar to our spells.
Can
And
you
then I put my ear to the
hear?
wall. Nod, yes.
Are they speaking?
Nod, yes.
Can you understand them?
Nod, yes.
Well, that's fortunate. I can make you one. I could have given you that knowledge. What do you see? Like giants,
He puts his finger up for one.
dwarves,
Shakes his head.
trolls,
But
or other types of large monstrous creatures?
I do the little motion with my hands.
Other small creatures.
I point at Aradel, but my skin color
Aradel's betraying us.
shakes head.
I've got him, and I'll tackle him to the ground.
Ignores them. But the elves, but your skin. Dark elves.
I think that's a drow.
Let go of me.
Not until Leroy gives the okay.
Nods head.
Dark elves.
What are the drow saying? Can you speak Elven?
Shakes head, but puts his ear like can still hear.
Yeah, those drow, they're speaking the giant tongue as well, so
Yeah.
they're not very good at it, but they're trying. Let's see. It's mostly the king doing the talking, but you hear him gloating about how the Zentarum were fools, forever thinking that they could deal with the fire giants as equals, and they will certainly not be spared in the upcoming destruction. Their arrogance will be repaid in kind. That's the main thing. The dark elves, for their part, stay quiet most of the time, and all they're really interested in is making sure that that the plan succeeds, that they get paid for what they've done, and that when the time comes, the fire giants will give them the reward that they deserve.
Okay. I'm gonna switch back to sight. Does it look like there's any light coming from the outside in, besides from where we are?
No, absolutely not. There's a lot of light in there from the forges.
Yeah.
The whole place glows orange and red, but no, there's no. The whole place appears to be hermetically sealed. You couldn't even get gas in here.
Can you see a mechanism to open the gate from where you're seeing?
Do I see a mechanism?
Question, I suppose. I haven't found it yet, but the answer is yes. But it's a pretty complex process. Like it involves pulling chains up from a completely different level, something like that. Opening the gates is no easy task, but it can be done. Yeah.
Okay, he's looking around for a while before eventually nodding, just trying to clue it together, kind of.
Yeah.
Did the dark elves say what group they represent?
No, they haven't given any indication of that. No. They did seem to be enemies with the Zentarum.
Well,
No,
they're
ask
the ones
below,
that.
like what else the giants are saying? Like basically like what they've said thus far? Like how would Lure I guess pass that information on?
How do you convey a giant weapon? So he's gonna make there's a big probably like make a big shape of himself of the way that the thing is sitting. The torso weapon monster.
Yeah.
I think that's the most we can really
Wait, swap to site?
do.
'Cause
He's gonna swap the site, yeah.
in Morburn Shield, was it Morburn Shield where the Zentarum said they were working for the Fire Giants?
It's towards Nesme where we saw that happen.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
it was a. Oh, it was Nesme. Nesme's destroyed, and they were in the ruins, and then they went off this way.
They were in the ruins when we
Fire
walked
Giants.
around. Oh, no, the Fire Giants.
Yeah.
Then.
And then the
So-
Fire Giants like went this way, and like we encountered them along the way.
So, Laura, do you see any Zentarum signs on the Drow?
Is there Zentarum signs on the drow?
I
You
doubt
look
it.
around, and the short answer is no. But it's interesting that you look back for this reason because you see something unexpected.
Oh god.
Yeah, this is an iron ball. Okay. Now the best description is those cat toys that have the little bells in them, and the cat hits there, ding 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 ding, and the bell rings as the little ball goes across the floor. You know those things, right?
Yeah.
Imagine one of those big enough to hold a dwarf. And now imagine that dwarf is wearing a Zentarum uniform. And now imagine that the hellhounds are chasing the ball.
So he's gonna make the small gesture again with his hand, but tinier, and point at Eggless.
So there's
How do I do this charade?
there's a dwarf.
Nods.
Go on.
And he's gonna we don't have anything Zentarum on me, do we? Like none of those sigils.
You can probably draw it pretty easily. It's familiar to us all, like a winged snake, I think.
Yeah, he's gonna just draw it in the dirt.
The dwarf is a Zentarum.
Nods. And then makes the gesture around Eggless that he's in a big ball.
He's in a cage.
Nods.
Possibly a bubble.
Ah, you're talking about Octo's resilient sphere, of course. No, it's a cage, probably.
Well, we're not gonna get
Is he a
much
prisoner?
done sitting up here.
Nods.
Did the giants speak about the Zentarum?
He'll shake his head, but he'll point at Aradel again.
The drow did. I mean,
Nods.
what did they say about the Zentarum?
Boy's just gonna do a big sigh.
Are they working with the
they-
Zentarum?
Feel we've talked Lura out of all his.
Okay, last question.
sociableness.
Is it positive or negative? Like, are they still working with them, or have they betrayed them?
I think they betrayed them, the second answer. I think that's what was said.
You just hold up 2 fingers, I guess.
Yeah.
We were told by Queen Dagnabbit that the drow stole or captured something of the primordial from Gontorgrim? Or a part of it? Can't remember. What was it?
They took
Yeah,
something to
trapped
fuel the
up-
Vodendod.
Trapped a primordial in a thing called the Iron Flask, which is like a genie in a bottle.
Okay.
Same concept.
If the drow are in contact with the fire giants, and perhaps they intend to give them this flask.
And then the fire giants will betray them. Like, why do people work with these people? Why do people work with the giants?
What did were they talking about the flask at all? Or the primordial?
What's the flask again?
They have
an
what?
iron
Might need a-
pot thing, an iron flask.
I don't think so.
What did the drow give an item to the Fire King? I mean, the guy.
One's holding an urn.
Is it made of iron?
Was it made of iron?
Yeah, it could have been. Could have been silver or iron. You know, they all look the same color more or less.
He's just doing that halvesy answer hand thing. Like, yeah.
So the drow could potentially have given the iron flask already.
Well, hmm. We aren't going to get anywhere sitting in front of the door. Then we should, once these
I
dwarves
thought we
come
was waiting for the
downstairs, we
dwarves.
should go up.
I like it.
Yes.
Did it come through the front door?
The dwarves? No, they're coming down the stairs.
No, I want to know how the drow got in there.
Underground.
Wow. I didn't
What?
think of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Eventually do catch up with you. They've come down the stairs, which is a lot more than 1,000, that's for sure. Anyway, they come down the staircase and they reach the bottom landing. They take a bit of a break, even though they're dwarves, they get a break. And then they walk across the grass field that final 500 feet to reach you. And they say, "Oh, you're not going to get through there. Them's ancient giant doors."
We were thinking there was a way in from above where that village is.
Be that there is. Why don't you come up to the village and have a bit of supper?
Why did you come down the stairs?
Thought we saw strangers in the area. Thought we'd come down and give a bit of a holler, invite you up for a bit of lunch.
And you work for
you're
the
not-
Fire Giants?
No, don't work for no fire giants. They live deep within the earth. Never bother us.
So there's one on the other side of this door right now.
Oh, how would you know?
Magic.
Can you not?
How else?
Well, that's amazing magic. Well, it's not going to bother us unless the door opens, is it? The door's not going to open.
Well, we'd like to go to your village if there's a way in to the fire
Very-
giant hold.
Yeah, so we have to just climb the 12,000 steps.
12,000?
12,000 steps, it's called. Not all of them are still there. A couple of them fell away, but there's still 11,000 of them, and you've just got to take a few big steps every now and then.
Was it not called the 1,000 steps before?
Oh, it might have been called 1,000 steps by someone who's never walked it, but it's 12,000 steps if you've actually walked it.
Well,
I
then-
should know I've counted it.
Then we better get going then, shouldn't we?
All right. Well, mind your step.
I guess we go up the stairs.
Are you going to say that for every step?
12,000 steps. Do we
I'll-
have any animals that are trying to climb?
Goat.
The goat's good. Goat's more
Ah.
short-footed than you guys are.
Got the
my
panther.
It's my cactus.
The panther doesn't really want to go up these stairs. You're going to try to make it?
Yes, because I probably need it for the fire giant fight.
Make an animal handling check to convince your panther.
I'll give you guidance. Smack.
All right. Panther's keen. Panther wants to see what's up there. It's an explorer panther.
Exploratory panther.
All right. All right. So that's good. Iglis, did you say you had something you wanted to take up?
Yeah, my cactus. I don't think he's gonna climb. I might have.
Yeah, Cactus kind of waddles. He's not a real good climber.
Yeah, not yet, buddy. Not yet. No, I'll just. He's small enough. I can just carry easily.
All right. Cactus
take
feels
one
like a king
piercing
of the
damage.
world.
Yeah, for every step.
That's right. That's what armor's for.
It's like
Not many-
12,000 piercing damage.
Not many cactus know what it's like to sit up on your dad's shoulders and walk around.
Okay, yeah. I guess on the way up,
So,
I will count the stairs.
12,000 stairs. Give or take the 100 or so that have weathered away.
And I guess
Yeah,
if nothing happens when we get to the top, I'll say the exact number of stairs.
Really? 11,244.
11,244.
A lot of stairs.
It's a lot of stairs. How many hours did that take?
Several. I don't think it actually tells me, which is kind of. I feel like that's a bit of an oversight. All right.
I suppose the 11,244 stairs doesn't have the same ring to it.
Guess not. Yeah. You'd think that would require a constitution check or something like that, but no. Yeah, your adventures, you walk up your 12,000 steps. I've walked up 350 steps at once. It fucked me. Oh my goodness. Bit of a funny story. I was in Cambodia, right? And I was walking up these stairs, this temple, and it gets arduous after about 200 steps, and the whole way I was being mashed by this woman who was like 50, 60 years old, probably 60 years old, and she's fanning my white ass the whole way because like this is too hot for me. I can't handle this shit. So I got this 60-year-old woman giving me like a hand fan the whole way. Here you go, a bit of encouragement. So I just gave her an American dollar to piss off because she was embarrassing me, like go away, woman. You do this every day. This is my first time. Anyway, so yeah, 12,000 steps later, you reach the top, and you come across a small, quaint village, the one that you saw from the sky. A bunch of little huts surrounded by separated by different spurs, a few bridges, rope bridges and wooden bridges, a couple of waterfalls, a water mill, the whole thing towering over the valley below. The view is absolutely magnificent. The whole thing is quite rural. Little four-footed creatures like yaks and goats and sheep milling around, eating what little grass they can find.
Does that mean my goat is on track? No
I
grass
guess
for him
so.
to eat?
No, yeah. Probably agitating the other goats. Territorial goat stuff. You're not a goat, you wouldn't understand.
I'm not. I'm glad I don't.
Okay. So there's a cleft in the mountainside. It splits this village in two. There's it looks like a pretty safe bridge made out of ropes and planks, and the whole thing's lashed together with a few sturdy posts. But as you arrive, and I'm just sort of looking around a few different things. As you arrive, a couple of unusual people begin to appear, popping their heads out from the yurts, which are like these huts and tents. They kind of look like minotaurs, I suppose, but not quite, because rather than having the heads of bulls, they have the heads of yak. And these yak folk start exiting from the little huts, and the dwarves say, "Oh, my friends, I found travelers down below, and I've invited them to our village so that they may sample our cheeses and our milk." Oh, very good. Welcome, travelers. What brings you to our humble village?
Someone else speak, I won't lie to them.
You won't lie to them. Oh. We are trying to find a way into the fire giant hold below you.
Oh, I see. Why would you want to go into the fire giant hold?
We have some unpleasant business with them.
Oh, unpleasant business. Are you members of the Zentarum?
No.
It just says no immediately.
Oh, well, that is just as well, because the Zentarum and the fire giants are not allies.
Well, we're no allies of the fire giants either.
Oh, then best I warn you away. Fire giants can be quite grumpy when people turn up unannounced.
Are you allied with the fire giants?
No, we are a village up here that keep to ourselves. We have been here for thousands of years, and we do not make enemies of anyone.
Well, would you know of a way into the fire giant hole? A crevice or a crag behind your town?
Yes, perhaps. But until we know more about your motivations, you must forgive us for remaining apprehensive. Won't you spend the night with us in our village, and we can talk and get to know each other and better understand each other's motivations?
What time of day is it? It's probably pretty late, right?
Probably by now, huh?
And I need a long rest anyway to get my spell back.
I mean, beats the alternative, I guess.
How many people around here look armed apart from us? Like, is there like a guard? Like, how does that look
Yeah,
like it works?
everyone's got arms of some sort, spears and halberds and stuff like that. They don't have armor,
Forearms.
but yeah, they've got their horns. But yeah, they've all got bows or axes or something.
Do they look particularly competent, or is it just like everyone in the village has to protect it?
No, you've never really had a lot of dealings with yak folk before. Roz, on the other hand, Roz has got that instinctual, knowledge of
Yeah,
how
the
dangerous things
bigger
are.
enemy feet. Yeah, so I could get a rough idea of how strong they are to some sort of degree.
Yeah. Right, does it involve an insight check or something?
I just put it in, so
No,
I was
you
gonna
just gotta
say a
observe
minute.
them.
All right. The average yak folk seems to be a pretty competent warrior, even though he's he doesn't even have armor or anything. He's just got his primitive swords and his bows. But you reckon, like pound for pound, each one of these guys is as good as a fighter as any ogre, any minotaur. They're pretty tough. About the equivalent of a veteran warrior in the human military.
Okay.
Stay a while. Stay all night.
Sure. Should we pay for lodging?
Perhaps you can help join the feast. We will offer you some cheese and meat, and you can present what you have brought.
Sure. Has anyone brought anything extra?
I got a few fruits, like fucking bananas and pears and shit, but yeah, apart from that, nope.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to be honest with you.
If someone could go down back to the ship and grab another cask off, maybe.
Not me.
Okay.
I have a spare herbalism kit in my chest.
I mean, I have a herbalism on me. Why do you want a herbalism kit?
I still had a spare one.
Oh.
And it's on me.
I'm
My
sponges.
chest is on me.
That's right. I'll go grab one of the kegs.
Yeah, you did bring it up the stairs, I assume. I guess we didn't leave anything behind. So, all right. While you're looking around, Eggless, you'll notice that this place has terrace farms. That is to say, that carved into the side of mountains, that is where they grow their food on kind of like windowsills, if the mountain was a window. None of the yak folk are doing any of the work. All the work's being done by halflings.
Oh,
Like, how do the
Have we-
halflings look? Like, health-wise? Like, are they just sort of working away like everyone else?
Dismal. They look dismal.
have
So
we
you might
talked
have-
to a halfling yet?
Not yet, I don't think.
And this is on the way back down. I can see them. Yeah, correct.
No, I assume that you're not travelling back down the 12,000 feet, 12,000 stairs. Or are you? Did we leave some stuff down at the bottom of the hill?
I mean, I don't think we'll... they wanted to grab beer, but I don't... They could be night by the time they got back.
Yeah, probably should.
Okay.
So did we just like leave our carts down there unattended?
No,
Airship.
the airship.
Oh, the airship, right. Yeah, the airship's that's still another mile away even when you get to the bottom of the
Yeah.
staircase.
And
So I see you have slaves.
No! What do you mean?
I'll gesture to the unhappy halflings.
Work is over for the day, everyone. Go home and be with your families. No, not slaves, but workers.
could I roll insight to see if the
Yes.
halflings look kind of confused?
Sure.
Like, is this normal? I guess so.
Seems that it makes them more suspicious than enthusiastic. They don't look like they're rushing home to be with their loved ones, but rather following instructions.
Oh, if they're free to go, then Roz will call out to one.
Is
Hey mate, you want to come over here? I got a beer in a cask here, a bit of grog. You want some?
He looks up at the yak folk, the leader, who is their priest. Go, child! And he cautiously goes over towards Roz.
I'll ask the halfling's name.
I am Sam.
Sam.
You want water or grog, mate?
A beer, please.
I'll give him the last little bits of my apple-like grog. Can't remember the name of it.
Say it, Sada. This is very good, sir. Are you, no talking now. He shuts up.
Well, why can't he talk?
He's had his drink. Now he needs to be back with his family. I'd best go. No talking.
You will let him go?
Guy getting sort of upset that we're trying to keep this guy around and asking these questions.
Bullish and pig-headed. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he's getting a bit upset. Yeah.
Right.
I think everyone should keep their wits about them, right?
So our accommodations, like, will these little buildings be provided, or will we have to make our own?
If you have tents, then you can use your own tents. But if you are ill prepared, we will find a place for you. But let us feast first.
Hmm.
Yeah, don't.
I think a towel might be useful here.
Yeah, I have that spell prepared.
Wonderful.
A what?
Are we gonna go eat with them or not?
They implore us, but I should.
And I'll.
They seem a bit shifty.
Yeah, I just need a reason.
in the
So, yeah, I'll come and eat some stuff with you. Where are we going?
Yeah, and I'll say, like, the area. I'll find like a 10 by 10 foot area. Like, can I put my tent? Well, can I put my building here?
Yes, certainly, little kobold.
I'll cast Golder's Tower level 5.
They are impressed.
I'll also put 4 bedrooms.
Aridel, you spot something in the distance that the others wouldn't notice due to your ridiculous eyesight. There is a fire giant, and they are accompanied by ogres and hobgoblins, that sort of thing, and they are dragging what is probably a piece of the Voden Dode, a giant chunk of adamantine. They're dragging it through the mud towards the big central doors.
I'll just pull out like the spyglass so I can get an even better look.
All right, an even better look will reveal this. What have we got? No, might take me a moment. Here we go. It's a fire giant with he's got his rod, the Boden Dode, you know, the dowsing stick.
Yeah.
And there is no ogres, just a hobgoblin captain and roughly 10 hobgoblins that are dragging a big chunk of Boden Dode. Weight, you know, weigh at least a ton. And probably taking him about half an hour to cross the 1,000 feet of grassland before he reaches the door, which is, even at that pace, is probably still quicker than you can get down the 12,000 steps.
Depends how fast we roll.
Yeah. like gravity is on your side, but
Indeed. There seems to be a giant going for the door. I doubt we'll be able to reach him.
Is there any like trees or down near where we entered?
no, the whole thing is just a clear
rock.
It's almost tundra up here, so it's just sparse grasslands.
Is it a straight drop off to the door?
Not exactly. No, it's even if you were to drop straight off, you'd still be 500 feet away from the doors at the bottom of the staircase.
Even if we were to slip through the front door, it's probably the worst entrance to take. There's bound to be countless tunnels within these mountains. If we can just find them. Perhaps we should join their feast, but be wary.
I could send Weather in outside. Have him in there all night.
Perhaps, unless he's more useful somewhere else.
Arctic, what animals do these guys like? What livestock do they have?
Yeah, sheep and goats mainly, but they also keep yaks, which is kind of, I don't know, racist or incestuous. I don't know what it is, but then again, they probably say the same about me if I kept a monkey. So maybe I'm the racist.
I was just making sure it's not like cheese that they've made themselves, if you know what I mean.
That's some yak folk level, level trickery right there, man. Like the yak makes his own cheese and then serves it up as dinner. Now you're eating cheese off me.
I was just like, yeah, like we go to the feast and we're like, oh, this is a really good cheese. What? How do you make this? And they're just like, ourselves, completely from the start. Like, what are you talking about? And they go to show us, and we just get like fucking freaked out.
That reminds me
our
of
village.
Goofy.
Okay, what's it? So in my tower, like at least on like the second or third story, I'm going to cast a sending spell. I'm going to send it to Sam and say, "Do not panic. The Yak men cannot hear this. Are you a slave? We can help you if you are. respond to less than 25 words.
All right, give me a moment on this. Let's see.
To Samwise.
It's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I need to help Miss Master Frodo get the ring to Mordor.
Sam and Frodo get captured by Yak-men.
So, what was your question?
It's in the chat.
That's 25 words.
We cannot hear you. Are you a slave? We can help her respond with less than 25 words in triplicate to your local bureaucrat.
I mean, I don't want an essay where, like, with a lot of words that are not unnecessary.
Yes, we are slaves. Yes, we are slaves, but we are worse than slaves. The yak folk crawl under our skin. They ride us, possess our souls, control our. I guess he didn't count his letters.
Can't count.
He ran out. 25. Oh, fuck. Was it 25?
Yes, we are slaves, but we are worse than slaves. The Yak folk crawl under our skin and possess us.
They crawl under our skin. They possess. Yeah. And possess us.
It's the cheese.
I'll cast the spell until you have 25 more words.
Oh, is that how this works? This is a really great spell. Sorry.
It's the best spell.
I cast it again. Here applies. They crawl under our skin. They possess our souls. They ride us like a spirit, a demon. They have magical rituals that can make you. And he runs out of words again.
I think it would be a better idea just to meet him at this point, like, secretly.
Just teleport him away.
I mean, I can just make myself look like a halfling and go and hang with them.
So could I.
Do they? Okay, come here. I'll ask. Like, do the halflings have their own sector of the camp?
The workers have long days and they work all day and must rest at night. You must not disturb them.
No, I mean, I simply wish to know where they sleep, so I do not stumble upon them and accidentally disturb them.
Pull yourself. Just follow your attendants at the feast and all shall be well.
All right.
Did I see where the halflings went when they went off?
Make an insight check. What'd you get?
18.
18 is pretty good. Let me have a look. Da 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 da. Da da da. Okay, so 8. Okay, I might copy and paste this picture because that might be you've seen it from up above anyway. Yeah, this is it. Cool. So I'm going to copy and paste this picture, and that'll make it much easier for me to describe it, and much easier for you guys to understand it. Okay, so pasting it in Discord now. As you can see, it's divided into two spurs connected by a bridge. You guys are predominantly being in the left-hand spur, the main one. I just moved out of it, which is unfortunate. So let's go back to it. The halfling slave. No. In short, it appears that each of the households probably have little people working for them. Some might be elves or dwarves or halflings, but it seems that each of the Yak folk households has someone else to empty their muck buckets and to fluff the pillows and to do the cooking. The Yak folk don't actually seem to be doing much of the preparation for the feast, for example. It's so yeah. The attendants are scattered throughout the village, but kept out of sight nonetheless.
Okay, so I think I understand. Sort of everywhere, but trying to stay hidden.
Behind the
Yeah,
scenes
that's
servants.
Right. Yeah.
Roz,
That is me.
you grew up in the mountains, right? Do you have dealings with Yak folk before?
Not really, no. Never even heard of them before.
It's unfortunate. Alright.
Something about this map that that you will have noticed by now. This big structure that's not on either of the spurs, but kind of in the top middle, kind of. It's connected to a big water wheel.
Like number 9.
You can see the numbers. Yeah, of course you can. I'm looking at different maps. So yeah, number 9. That deserves a little bit of description. Let's see what we can tell you about that.
Nicely carved.
Area 8, 9. Sorry, I'm still scrolling through. There are 20-foot tall iron doors into the mountainside, northeast of Area 8. It looks like they keep a passageway blocked. There's an iron portcullis, and as I said, those 20-foot high iron doors. From the room beyond, you can hear rushing water from the nearby river. So yeah, the Yak folk have primitive technology. They've got axes and arrows, pitchforks. But right at the edge of their village, where the water wheel is this massive pair of iron doors. Not as big as the adamantine doors down the bottom, but built in a similar style.
So structures mimicking the stone the fire giant craft.
Yeah, that's right. The doors look like the fire giant doors, but they're much smaller, 20 feet instead of 50 feet. Still
Do
big.
they look
Still
as perfect?
No, not as perfect. They show signs of rust. Yeah.
But like still really well crafted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
Still, yeah.
At one time, it was probably as good, but like it probably hasn't been upkept as well.
Something like that, and we're never made of such good materials. We're never given the enchantments, etc.
Well, doesn't bode well. Did you tell us that about the messages? No, I don't think.
Well, I mean, you're standing outside with the Yak men, but I'll ask you. I suppose I'll ask Aradel. I can't ask everyone to come inside, otherwise the Yak men will come too.
Hey, come on inside.
Yeah, I'll ask you to come inside and check like check on something I've been working on.
Oh, come on in.
I'll tell you what the halfling said and say he had more to say, but I mean, it's a lot of magical power for small sentences. I reckon I can disguise myself and I can get the full story.
Is that safe? If they can control all these people, then maybe they have magics as well.
Right. Well, we have magics too. I can call you if I need help. Who else do you think has shape-shifting or illusory magics that could help me? That could help here?
I would say the shape-changing person.
Like Igris, you can turn into animals.
I'm talking about Livy.
I can turn into whatever you want.
I didn't know you was in this room.
Winks.
He was the wall.
Yeah, but two of you came in as well. It's like, okay, me, you, and Iglis will form a scouting party then, and the rest of you will go to the feast. Well, the rest of the people outside will go to the feast.
Maybe we should put protections on when we go to the feast, or try not to eat anything. I don't know.
I mean, we have seen
here?
just they're like not all the slaves are halflings, right?
No, that's right. There are elves, elves, dwarves, and gnomes and halflings. Yeah, so there's a wide variety of races. Yeah.
Yes, I'll do what you need to do to be safe.
I could ask a question to my god about this.
And what would that question be?
If you give me 10 minutes, it's a simple one. Let me just see if it's a yes or no answer real quick.
It's
short phrase, cryptic rhyme, or an omen. Okay, that's useful.
Yes, I have that spell too, Aradel.
Divination?
Yes. It's an unearthed arcana one.
Oh. Alright. I have a bunch of gold.
There's
Lots of materials on it.
updated the spells wizards can cast. Didn't you hear
Very
about
nice. No, I didn't. Mr. let you guys have more magic. It's like, I've been too harsh.
If Mistra doing some beta testing, she lets a couple of wizards take it, but not all of them yet.
Yeah.
I'm on the mailing list.
That's
You've subscribed to Mr. Daily. Mr.'s OnlyFans.
Okay.
It's like BTS or something.
Okay, so call Iglis in here and say and tell the Yaks that they are my assistants and we are doing arcane research, so that we may not attend the feast tonight.
I'm not very good at masking the truth.
Even with a 14?
Even with arbitrary numbers you assign.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let me just take 10 minutes to divine this. Inside the tower, may I just sit down and start a ritual of divination?
Can you not just cast the spell?
I don't want to waste it. What's 10 minutes? They're still preparing dinner, after all.
Oh yeah, the Yak guy, is he just standing there, like waiting for us to move on, or is he moved off?
Yeah, he's gone to get the feast ready. There are still yaks nearby, eavesdropping, for example, but they're not being too obvious about it. But you can see the way their ears are pointing at you.
Like cats.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like,
yeah. I'm totally looking over in this direction, but my ear.
Their ears are like satellite dishes and they're facing away from us. Alright, I'd like to cast the divination spell as a ritual.
And I'll call Iglis into the room as well.
Mm-hmm.
And while he's doing that, I'll get the ritual casting. I'll do Rary's telepathic bond on as many party members as within the space when the spell goes off.
Are you casting it like straight away?
Nah, I'm doing 10 minutes like Averdale.
Okay.
During that final 10 minutes, the last of the servants, free workers, totally not slaves, go back to their huts, whether they were milking yaks or making cheese or grinding wheat within the mill and so on. They're all going back to their yak families.
Okay, and yeah. So what was your question, Averdale?
I'd like to ask if the yak folk intend on enslaving us during this feast, or as a result of this feast.
All right, so that's your question.
Yes.
The servants who bear the yoke of the fire giants would pass that yoke on to the unfortunate and foolish.
I have been given my answer.
Did it give clarity to our situation?
They are servants of the fire giants, and they will do the same thing to us that has been done to them.
So what do you reckon we do?
Not eat anything they give us, and stop any sort of spell casting or anything that they may try.
But do we tolerate the slave keeping?
I'm not 100% sure on how controlled they are, if they are just turned wicked by the control, or if they are completely controlled and they are made to do this thing. It may be killing innocent yak folk that are slaves, but they seem to have some sort of hierarchy here. Maybe not.
You have books of the creatures of the north. Can you not see which ones are like historically evil or tend towards evil?
I don't. I think this is a sort of isolated case. If they tended towards evil, why would they? It seems a bit of a roundabout way. And they're not really monsters, are they? Do I know of any sort of like possession ritual or like control ritual that must be like that sort of like is on this level?
I don't completely understand the question, but it would be a powerful spell if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I was like, because it seems like they have like, well, maybe it's like a Gias like, on all the I'm gonna assume it's something like a Gias on all the halflings and stuff. Because they're not like directly under control, but they will follow orders.
Yeah, that seems to be fairly accurate. Like, they haven't once given lip, they've just done exactly what they're told, but they're not mindless automatons in the way like mind players control things like puppets.
Yeah.
They're just, they're just as if they have no tongues or wills of their own.
I feel they're under a similar spell as a Gias.
Am I in this mental
Yeah, I called you in.
conversation or just thinking about spells in my head and
Can you not just become a bird?
Me? Yeah. I was just talking about Gears because it can force a command, but it only forces the one command on you, and it only lasts for 30 days.
Obey your superiors. That's a command.
And so they'd have to recast it every 30 days. So I don't really think we want to stay here for 30 days, but
Can
may
they
not
not
be
use
an
more
actual
powerful?
spell.
Can they not channel more power into it to have it last longer?
Yes.
so we can remove it by using a remove curse, greater restoration, or a wish spell.
But we're just assuming things again. We should speak to them. Let them into.
Alright.
Us three will go and speak to them, and you lot will go to the feast.
Yes.
I did have a plan for the feast if they wanted to poison us. I did have detect poison, a disease, on ready for today. But if we not worried about that, then I don't have to worry.
Alright. I'm also gonna cast Arcane Eye right now, Arctic.
Yeah.
And I can send it out, and I'll just sort of like fly around. I'll make it like sort of fly around the.
You're gonna tell us you're doing this?
Yeah, well, I obviously cast a spell right in front of you.
Okay, I'll say, like, try to find Sam.
I shall. It won't take very long. It can move quite a speed. I open the door to let the Arcane Eye out. It's invisible, so no one else sees it.
Alright,
I see
I'll
it
be
while
back
it's
in
in
a
10
few
feet
minutes.
to me.
We might take a short break before we get back to describing every room in the village.
I'm
So
not gonna be like
I think
that.
Really good. Am I
we
changing
find
into a
Sam,
bird
get all
before
the
we leave?
information, and then you do whatever you do at the feast to not get kidnapped or mind control.
Wait, are we going to? I've got protection from poison prepared. I could cast that on a few people.
That's if it's got poison though.
What are you doing, Reese?
It's
I
really.
think I'm going with the investigation
The
crew.
investigation group is me, Livy,
Yes.
and
So
Igris.
am I
Iglis?
wild shaping into like a fly and then getting on your
Or
shoulders?
just some sort
what?
of animal that wouldn't look bizarre running around here.
Like a fly.
A crocodile.
Just out of curiousness, what are we trying to investigate? Like, what's our main thing we're trying to find out here?
Or just
I'm
how much how free the slaves are. Like, are they using magic?
They're not free at
yaks-
all. It's clearly obvious.
Yeah, but
No, we're trying to
are they
figure
using
out-
magic?
I understand. And before, at the very start of the conversation, they also said that they use strong rituals as well.
We're trying to figure out if they're gonna I'm just trying to keep this eye out so that we don't get.
I just, I don't want to
magic on.
spend 2 hours just investigating little buildings. That's all.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that's for a place of interest, and then we're gonna go have this dinner.
And we'll
Okay.
see if they're
I'll
working
probably
for the fire
send.
giants.
I'll probably send Weather with the party group at a distance. So if anything does go down, Weather can let me know.
I mean, Halilaxis is going to stay with the party group anyway.
Is he invisible? Yeah, he is, isn't he?
No, he's not, but he's just with the party group because it looks a bit strange. It's 2 slaves and a fly with their pseudo dragon.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I can cast disguise self on him as well and make him. No, it's self, isn't it?
Disguise self is only self.
Yeah, and familiars can only do touch spells, which is just super disappointing.
I have meld into stone.
As do I.
Seems a bit
I don't know
random.
why I prepared it. I don't know why I prepared it. I was like, we're going underground, surely.
We talked about meld into stone, and I could strike him. One of the tavern keeps leave our tavern now, and the druid just cast meld into stone and walked into a wall.
But he didn't leave now, did he?
I mean, the tavern keep didn't understand how the spell worked, so he just waited until he left and then walked out.
With most magic, I think
Yeah.
with the understanding of when you kill the caster, the effect ends, right? That's just
Only
the
if it's
understanding everyone has.
only if it's concentration.
No.
Even non-concentration spells end.
Pretty sure. Unless it's like a curse.
I really don't think we need to spend so much time investigating this area.
We
And
do need to find the hole.
I guarantee you Roz would have started talking or at least doing stuff while you guys were in the house, and he would have been over to talking to the halflings. And if tension did start rising, Roz would start hitting because it's clear slavery here.
Well, we can go do that.
Yeah, but
Roz,
if
alright.
combat opens
Like
in the
you guys are spending such a long time in there, and you're leaving Roz to do his own free thing, and he has a very strong will that everyone is free.
Yeah. Let's switch to that. So while these guys are casting their spells, which takes 10 minutes to get the answer, I've just disconnected my headphones. I'll plug them back in again. While these guys are taking their 10 minutes to cast their spell, Roz, I'm just looking at that image that I shared earlier now. You've got the two sectors divided by bridges, and you've got like a big mechanized area that has a water wheel, and the whole thing's blocked off by a massive pair of iron gates. Where do you go? Where's the first place that you go as you look around this area?
Roz would just go to one of the halflings, and he wants to sit next to them or see what they're banging, just any slavery stuff. He wants to sit there and talk to them. And if the yak people start telling Roz to get off, yeah. You know?
They're basically knocking off for the day. They've done their day's work on the terraces, and they're going back to the farms. And yeah, it doesn't seem like they really want to communicate, but they look up at the yak folk while they do, and it's quite clear that the yak folk would be angered if they misbehaved at this particular moment, and so they just don't really reply to you. Keep their heads down and walk back to the huts they're assigned to.
We'll walk back to their hut.
All right, so you walk back to one of these huts. We'll call it this one 4C, if you can see the one I'm referring to. It's up to you. Yep. So, let's get back a bit. This is a barn. Well, they've got like a chicken coop and some muddy stalls. They've got a few pigs in there, a couple of yaks that they've put them away, shovels and pitchforks and buckets and plows, all that sort of stuff. And there's a couple of stalls. There's a few humans, 2 human slaves, as well as the halfling that are going into one of the stalls and appear to be settling down for the night.
Cool. Roz will find a little spot if he can, and he'll bring out bananas, grapes, pears, apples, and he's gonna lay them on the ground. Now, if any of you guys want some of this food, feel free. Come and grab as much as you want. I even got some dried rations here.
What the yak folk who owns this building comes in? No, that is unnecessary. Collect the food quickly now. Collect the food, gather it up, and we will distribute it at the feast tonight.
Ah, they looked a bit hungry. I'm just giving it to them now. I'm sure you guys got plenty of food at the feast.
Make a persuasion roll or an intimidate if you're trying to make a point of it.
Very much making a point.
Yes, eat your fill. Everyone should be able to feast, even the lowly and undeserving.
Does anyone come and sit next to Roz? Any of the slaves?
they wait still in their little stall for a while, and he waits for a while, and you settle down, and he doesn't push the point. His eyes narrow, and his head lowers, and he gives a bit of a grumble, and trots off somewhere into the village to go and speak with someone else. So yeah, and at that point, the two humans and the halfling, they come over and gather the oranges and the bananas and so on.
As soon as the yak leaves, Roz will just start talking. Do you want to be free? And just talk to me. If not, just don't have to say anything.
They stumble some words, but nod.
Do you think if we kill them, you will be free?
They don't seem to be certain enough to give you an answer, but they nod more or less. But they haven't thought of it.
Do you know of any slaves that have escaped?
They shake their heads. They don't escape. They get possessed. They get sent out into the world as playthings of the wicked yak folk.
Right, that's all I needed to hear. We'll get you out of here. And Roz will spend maybe 5 more minutes in there finishing off maybe an apple, and then he'll get up.
They serve the giants. The giants in the forge. Oh, we send our minerals down there, and those who misbehaved are sent into the mine to find ore for the fire giants.
Right. Do you think if we kill the fire giants, they'll let you free?
The fire giants, the yak folk, yes, kill them all.
Roz nods. All right. Well, eat as much as you can. I'll get you out of here soon. And Roz will make his way back to where Prophet, Aradel, Iglis, and I think there's someone else in there. I can't remember who. And he'll go to there.
We send the mine shafts lie beyond the great doors.
Thank you. Beyond the great doors, okay.
I guess this is when we're coming out of the building. It's like 10 minutes at least.
Yep, you've gotten your prophetic answer.
Do we have
Again, ready to cast more
telepathic
spell?
bond? Do we have
I
telepathic
did it when you were
bond?
doing your other spell. When you were doing your one.
Who has got it though?
Everyone in the room.
So only like 4 of us.
Yeah.
I'll see Roz approaching, and if anyone else is nearby, I'll sort of wave him in to the building.
Aradel!
Come here.
I'm coming in. Alright. I don't know. I really want to...
They have the people like under a spell.
Yeah. To some degree.
You went walking?
But yeah, I did. I went and talked to a lot of them. Well, a few of them.
See any like I don't know.
Did the yak people see you doing it?
Magic?
Yeah.
Did you know the meaning of the word subtlety?
I don't know if they already know that we're not friends.
That's a big word.
Yes, but here's a lot of little words. They will punish every one of those slaves you spoke to.
Well, that's not going to happen. Because if they lay a single hand on them, I will fuck the yak people up.
Because you can watch all of them all of the time now. How do you know the Yakman hasn't gone back and already killing them?
Can't hear screams. I got pretty good ears.
I'll just send my eye off around looking.
You don't know the
one in
nature of the
charge as well.
magic they have on them. It could do anything. And you have
All
no
right,
idea.
Prophet, I agree with ya. I'll grab my flail, I'll start spinning it. All right, yak folk, come here.
All right.
Literally, that's what Roz does. With Prophet being like that, urging him to go kill them, he will go.
I shall chuck us down on a map. I'll work out where we were first, probably around about.
A clearing where at least 10 feet.
Yeah, that's right. There's not a lot of clearings, so I'll put us down.
We fighting. Them's fighting words.
I like that Luro, Nap, Wild, like, has no idea what's going on. We're just sitting there chilling out, enjoying the feast, and then fucking Roz comes in like, time to die, everyone!
Obviously, they've cast a spell on him to make him go crazy, and you must subdue Roz.
Clearly.
Nah, jokes.
Roz was evil the whole time.
He's been waiting for the opportune moment. Yak, folk, I hate yak.
Them.
They killed my entire village.
They're the antithesis of Loxodon.
Okay. I'll check that this has worked because I have no idea yet. Looks like it has.
It's the fact that they have slaves and they want to turn us into slaves. You know, like.
Okay, so here we are. Here's a yak folk, one that's like watching you from a distance.
God, he's big.
He's pretty big.
Yaks are large animals, Saxon.
Whoa,
Someone-
look at that thing. He's muscly.
How big is the tower?
It's 10 by 10 feet.
10 feet by 10. That's a really small tower.
Yeah, I
Anyway.
know. So in game terms,
Let's-
only 4 people can stand on each floor.
Need to get my panther out. I forget about him.
So I'm in the door.
Forgot he died and I resurrected him.
Who else is in the door with me? In the house with me?
I guess I'm
Rose
out
would've
the
been
door
in
because
the
I was
house,
talking
yeah.
to us.
Me.
No idea where I
10
would have
feet
been.
going to the house 4C, so we'll say like there.
God, that is fucking tiny.
I mean, it's big enough for a kobold. We'll say the door's like here.
How do you go between levels? in
There's a
this?
ladder.
Yeah. Does the ladder occupy one of the squares?
It's really mind-boggling how much. 5 feet.
I don't think it occupies the entire square, otherwise there'd be nothing in the room.
I gotta say, a 5 feet square is probably a bit bigger than I'm giving it credit for.
5
Should
foot
be
is
about
pretty
5
big, but
feet.
like
I think
You
it's
know,
like
in like
Yeah.
I think it's like a step ladder on the wall. I think.
It'll still take up pretty much most of the square because, you know, like you need a 5-foot creature to go through that square. So, yeah. So it would take up the entire square. Like a fireman's pole as an example.
Hmm. It's probably like just. I'd assume it is in like rungs in the wall.
Yeah, yeah, but there's got to be enough gap for you to move up there, so it has to be
Yeah.
5 foot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, a creature of
Oh,
all size can't move through it.
initiative. That's what I'm missing. Silly me.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
yeah, no worries.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess as of yet, nothing's happened yet.
Hey, they've still got guys on the working in the yard. They said to everyone go back to sleep.
It's illegal.
That's illegal. You can't do that.
Now, hear me out. These guys might be exploiting those little ones.
There's workers.
I have no real evidence, but let's kill them anyway.
Literally, you see that Roz is tired of talking. He starts swinging his flail around and walking back towards the building that he's just come out of.
Laura's gonna step aside to see what everyone else is doing because what is happening. And then he'll probably actually rage, and then that's all I'll do for now.
Just sit there, get angry.
Grr, grr.
I don't know why I'm angry, but I am. You must play League of Legends.
Oh. So then there is a dark moon on the rise. What are you going to do?
Guess I'll look at Wild. No, not Wild. Roz and ask him what he's doing and like what we're doing. I've still no idea what is happening. I mean, I just mainly asked Roz if we're attacking the yaks.
I'm seeing if the fucking slaves are alive.
Great,
Netflix, what are you doing?
I'll move 40 feet this way.
Yak-uza.
Well done.
I will take the dodge action.
Brilliant. Aradel, we are going to break some skulls.
The one that's in line of sight of me. What's he doing? Is he wielding a weapon?
They're all wielding weapons. This one is the one that's not watching you, but his ear is.
But he's watching the people in front of him.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're probably not there anymore, so I'll just
yeah.
get rid of them because want to be confused.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, cool. I guess I'll hold an action to Sacred Flame. Wait, am I within range? That's a good question. No, I ain't. I don't know. I guess I'll just take the dodge action from within this room.
Okay.
Livy.
Sorry. So the door is towards Profet there?
Yeah, there's a little blue dot on it.
Alright, well I guess I'll wait my turn. If anything comes hostile within like my vision, I guess, I will Eldritch Blast. Hold action to Eldritch Blast.
You stood in a tower, so you wouldn't be able to see much, right?
Roz is acting pretty hostile.
No, fuck, I was shooting them. No.
Giving Prophet the permission that he needs.
Just turn around and cast Disintegrate on Livy.
Oh, what's that? 5, 10, 15, 25. There we go. Be happy to get there with my last movement. If one of the yaks is hostile, I am attacking Eldritch Blast, so I'll hold my action.
Panther.
I just get him to move up to me and take the dodge action as well.
Wild is going to wait to see what Roz does, but he's going to move up to get a view just to make sure, we are killing these things, right? I'm not misinterpreting what's going on.
He's just confused.
Yeah, usually he's the murderous one, but now it's everyone else.
Oh my god.
The yak folk. The same one that Roz just saw earlier has re-entered his own building, and he sees little Sam, the halfling, look up with a look of terror and just drop his banana and his orange as the yak folk draws his great sword and prepares to slice him in half. But then he looks out the door and he sees Wild Gold and Rod approaching, and instead grabs the little boy, raises off the ground, and puts his greatsword underneath the boy's chin with a ready to action, presumably to kill on a particular trigger. Roz.
I mean, I haven't seen what's just happened. I can't, like, if anything happens to them, it's on your shoulders, Roz.
I don't think Roz would have heard that.
He
Roz
shouted,
opens up.
he didn't speak to you, he
See,
shouted it.
And they're like, oh, why have you got a sword to his neck?
Yeah, as you open up the door, you see the blade go through the halfling's throat and come out the other side. The two humans start screaming.
Roz uses movement and cast Cure Wounds on him.
Whoa, all right. Brilliant, brilliant. Will it be enough?
Commoners have like 4 hit points.
Yeah, right. Like rules is written, it wouldn't be, but
I'm hoping that like with a quick slash and then Cure Wounds, it's like he'd be alive and he'd be able to come back.
make a dexterity saving throw to try to get over there in the
Speed
flash.
heal?
Yeah.
No guidance on that, or bless, sorry. But 12. What do I have? Hold on. I think I have a thing.
A thing. Things are good.
Indomitable to reroll.
Yeah, so if that's a fail, I would like to re-roll it.
Right. Yeah, a 12 will be a fail, unfortunately.
16
will be enough. And so you get there and you lay on hands on his throat and it heals. And the yak folk is furious. He takes out a horn and puts it to his lips, but you action surge. What do you do?
Action Surge, double hit, Flame Skull.
Alright.
I think should I move up to stand next to him so it's not a bit confusing.
Yeah, good call.
Ooh, a crit. That's nice.
What are we looking at so far? They're monstrosities.
Okay. 22, 30, 34, 42, 42, 51, 56, 59 points of damage.
You're kidding me! Oh, you smash his skull and like drop him straight to the ground. He is finished. And as you begin to turn around, you see, although he cannot open his eyes, he raises the horn to his lips. He's on 1 hit point.
Ah.
Alright. You've just seen Roz walk into a man's house and clobber him over the head with a magical flail.
Is it like? Did I see the whole part where the guy shoved the sword through there?
Probably not, no, because these are basically like tents, not quite. They're yurts. They don't have windows because they don't need them. It's too fucking cold up here to have a window. So the only entrance would have been the door. You just see Ross just walk in there and start going bang, bang.
And because the guy got cut through the neck, he couldn't really talk or scream from the hit.
No, but the screaming starts from the other two slaves.
I already know what's going on. I already know these guys are fucked. Yeah.
Did we get to level 11?
Yeah, we're level 11.
Oh, then yeah, I would have 3 attacks.
Alright, this next one will be an advantage because like you knocked him prone with the blow.
Oh,
you needed it too.
But you rolled 3 damage, though, didn't you?
yeah, but the third one was a crit anyway. He rolled it accidentally.
No, you crush it. The screaming stops quite suddenly.
I'm saying didn't Roz roll 3 times for damage because the middle one is
Sorry,
double
yeah, I
damage anyway.
did roll 3 times by accident. I didn't even realise.
count, yeah.
Good call.
Did you count all that?
The screaming stops because they think he's dead.
And he keeps screaming.
So 20, 30, 44, 47 plus 11, 5. 47 plus 16.
63. Without that third crit lot. There. So 10, 3, 12, 8, 4, 10, 11, 5.
Yes.
A horn to his lips, but all he can manage is a gurgle and not a noble blast.
Yes, he does.
Prophet, Eggless, what did you do?
I'm just gonna summon my wildfire, so my mole appears next to me. I'll drag him on the map.
Prophet in the house.
I guess we're killing people now.
Oh,
I'm going to move. Wait, is it 5-foot squares or 10-foot squares on this map?
the big ones are 10, the small ones are 5.
Okay, I'll move 30 feet. That's still 10 feet out of range. I will hold my action to cast Toll the Dead if it gets clipped. If one of the Yakmen comes within range. Okay, that's my turn.
A yak folk woman. Oh no, I reloaded the page. I knew that was going to happen. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, a hostile
I think I might
Yakman.
cancel it. A yak woman walks out. What is the meaning of this?
Guess we're killing you for having slaves.
Feast for you. This is uncalled for.
Ask was.
Can I reply, or do I have to wait till my turn for that?
You can give a single reply, sure.
Shouldn't have fucking killed the halfling.
And she is confused. Kill the halflings!
She takes 12 necrotic damage.
Alright, she is soon joined by her sister wife. Another another one of the wives. It appears their hit points are linked. Yeah, when I move one hit point, the other one moves. Roll 20's made a bit of a fuck up there. Alright. So they come out and they step on either side of the curtain and they fire their longbows at the closest target, who in this instance will be Little Prophet.
I'm ready with my shield
Is
spell.
that in range there too? I was holding Eldritch Blast for hostile. Probably
It's like
cover.
100 feet, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure if they cover.
No, not in cover. They've just sort of exited a barn kind of thing, the Great Hall, actually.
Oh, just from where I'm standing, making sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
A crit.
That'll do it.
Oh. 15 and 18?
33.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh.
so they'll open fire on him.
Oh, crit on profit.
On profit.
Okay, so
Okay.
2 hit,
gonna
but I'll
use-
shield and make only 1 hit.
Spirit shield.
Okay, then I won't.
If you were raging. Are you
I am
raging?
He did rage.
Oh.
He's just out of your range.
Is he?
30 feet.
Well, 35 feet.
Ah!
Okay, I'll shield and take only the crit.
Alright, yep. Wait a minute. Did you have a spell ready?
I've already cast it.
That would be
What was
keep
that
your
acting?
spell ready.
Okay.
Yeah, keeping a spell ready it takes your reaction, so
Don't
you
forget
wouldn't be able
that.
to cast shield. Yeah, it's no problem. So 2 will hit instead for 16 and 9, 25 points of damage. The chief also has a ring of yak spirits surrounding him, doing like a circular motion to keep him safe. Wives who
I'm sorry, like Arctic's really cutting out. Like, can anyone else like understand?
Yeah, real robotic.
Okay.
Mr. Roboto.
Oh no, it's just. See if that helps. All right. How am I doing now? Still good?
You're getting
You
better.
sound better.
Okay. He will cast a spell on one of his wives, and the worst of her wounds disappear. Where Okay, cool. Am I still here?
Yes, you are.
Yep, still here.
Okay, good. It was still quiet. It was quiet for quite a long time there. So yeah, the chief emerges. He is being surrounded by yak spirits that are dancing around him in a circle. And he lays his hands on his most injured wife, and she magically heals. Luro.
Okay. Me on my within 20 feet. Might do one more. And then I'm gonna attempt to throw the hammer at her and use one of the charges where throwing the hammer now with a normal range of 20 feet. If the attack hits the hammer, unleashes a thunderclap audible out to 300 feet target, and every creature within 30 feet of it must succeed a DC 17 con save or be stunned until the end of the next turn. Do I just make an attack throw for that?
Yeah, that's right. It's a ranged attack, but it uses your strength. So it's just a normal attack roll for you.
Okay.
If you throw it 20 feet and it's a range of 30, does that mean it hits you in the...
I don't know how that works.
Well, it's
but I
every
think
creature.
so.
It says it says every creature, and here she is a creature, so
Yeah.
she will be affected too. Yeah.
31.
Crunch, a devastating blow. So roll for damage, and then I'll put an aura on that so we can see how big 30 feet is. Not as many people as I thought it would. Or two. But it does hit profit.
Yeah, more than half in, aren't I?
I think so, yeah. I think about 60% in roughly.
Oh,
I don't have the plus, but it doesn't matter. Why did you do this
Aw.
to me?
I'm sorry. I want him to stop him doing his voodoo-y shit.
But you hit his wife.
He gets stunned though. Oh,
DC.
17.
Oh, really? So I gets them all. Alright.
Yeah.
When he is stunned, he doesn't lose his spell automatically. Can someone confirm that for me?
Is it a concentration?
Right. Yeah. If it is a concentration, does he lose his spell? I didn't think he did.
Let me see. Does stunned incapacitate? Let's check.
Yeah, like I know they cover this.
A stunned
all the
creature is
time.
incapacitated. See the condition.
Yes,
is- it is
incapacitated gets rid of a
Okay,
spell.
cool. Alright.
Gets rid of concentration.
Concentration spell. All stunned.
And the creature automatically fails strength and dexterity throws, and all attacks have
Yeah.
advantage.
Is
No,
this a
oops, didn't mean
concentration?
to press that.
Someone just picks up your hammer of thunderbolts and throws it back. Does like 1 damage because it's like I suppose it'd be an improvised weapon for like an unattuned person.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
they become unstunned on the end of my next turn.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so this is a spell that they cast. I'll just check that it's concentration or not. Come on, there it is. It doesn't tell me if it's concentration or not. It is a concentration spell. Okay, cool. So the spirit guardians are removed. All right. Afternoon now.
Nice. He moves to 30 feet up to one of his wives. If throw out my dancing blade as a bonus action, there's a bonus to attack them, right? I mean, bonus advantage. Words.
You have advantage because they're stunned.
Sweet. Try my new weapon. Gonna stab them with a dagger of venom.
All right. 22 will easily be enough to hit.
Auto crit within 5 feet.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Are
No,
they?
they're
No.
incapacitated.
I gotta open stunned again. No, incapacitated doesn't do that. No, it's not auto crit.
Then how do you get an auto crit?
Unconscious.
Oh, only unconscious. Okay.
And
Or
paralyzed.
paralyzed.
And paralyzed.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Unconscious and paralyzed.
Oh, that's
Right.
so unlucky on the 2d10 roll.
Wasn't great. So, what is it in total?
24 or 23.
Cool. All right. Grievous injury after she'd just been healed, but she is strong and resilient and able to withstand your assault. The panther needs to be beside something, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, Panther needs to be closer.
Cool. All right, Aradon.
Alright, I'm gonna use my action to dash to the Hammer of Thunderbolts, wherever it may lay, and use a bonus action to cast Holy Weapon on it. My Arcane Eye drops wherever it may be. And I only use 45 movement. He's stunned. 55. And I can get back over here. The rest of my movement. I assumed it was like right next to the big that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's Holy Weapon cast on the hammer. So add any. So add 4d8. No. Sorry, 2d8 radiant damage on attacks with it.
Okay.
And I will be back.
I made a mistake with the dagger venom.
Oh,
You need to pass a con save to take the poison damage. I mean,
She
not
does,
to take.
does she?
Yeah,
I
it's a
wonder
con
if-
save.
All right. And if she passes, is it half damage?
Yes, and if she fails, she gets the poison condition.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good. Okay, cool. I'll remember to add that to her. Oh, yeah.
Does that work this time? Oh, there you go. No, it's actually in the thing.
Perfect. That can be the poison symbol. All right. Well, she immediately slows, becomes nauseated, and sees double. Livy.
All right. Livy will. If I can walk this. Don't think I can angle that right. It's been multiple days since the frost giant, yeah?
Yeah. Today's.
And incapacitated, they fail dex saves?
Yeah, automatically. I mean, stunned makes them fail.
Alright, well I guess I'll use 6 charges on one of the fireballs. Which I'm pretty sure makes it level 9? Wand of fire. I was gonna do kind of cold, but I can't move far enough to. Yes, 6 charges to make it a level 9 one. I shall do that. There we go. 46 points of damage, and they automatically fail.
That's bullshit. You're burning down the hut. There are some screams from within.
Is there only one door?
There is only one door, yeah.
Did you just kill the people we came to save?
Oh no.
Well, I assume they were all locked up because they said lock yourself up. Oh, I see them on the map now. I can't see them.
So
And that
was all
my
on
turn.
these guys, right?
Those 3, yeah, without
Cool.
hitting Nap.
Hitting that, yeah. That's about a 20-foot fireball. Good enough. Might be a bit bigger than that. It's much of a muchness. All right, and that you said that they all automatically fail, right?
Yes. Incapacitated.
Right. Okay. So, fuck, is that 48 damage?
46.
That's nasty. But it doesn't kill the chief. Okay, the panther.
Get him to rush at do a pounce attack at the chief.
Nice. Like hunting yak is pretty natural for the panther. Automatically fail strength checks, maybe? I don't know.
I think so. A creature automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws.
Makes sense.
For
All
stunned.
right, cool. The Yak chieftain has been knocked to the ground by the panther.
Sweet, then you can make a free bite attack.
Brilliant. I don't think that'll do him. Wait a minute. No, his hide armor is only armor class 12, so he's having no armor except for his hair. Your panther is able to sink another wound.
Death to things, I thought I turned it off.
It's barely a glancing blow, but the panther tastes blood, and that's what matters. Wild gold. And you can see that there is stirring in many of the other tents.
Wild. Ooh, that's very far. Wild's gonna use feline agility. Get to there.
That one
And
had his arrow ready. I don't think he attacked last round. I think he just stood there. So he fires his arrow at you as you come within range, short range.
yeah. 16, that hits. Yeah, that hits. Was that 15 damage? Alright, and Wild is going to rage.
You get hit and then you're like, that really pisses me off.
And hold. Just hold there, basically. Oh, actually, he'll hold his action for if someone comes within 5 feet. Like if an enemy comes within 5 feet, he'll attack.
He loads another arrow, and then a second arrow after that one. And
Ah,
shoots
shit.
them both at you. And then 14 hits.
Nah. 15 is my armor class.
Alright. He backs up. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, don't run!
6. Cowardly yak folk backs off. More of them emerge from their hut. And some of them put their horns to their lips and blow clear, strong sounds that reverberate throughout the hills. And the yak folk emerge with their longbows drawn and just start pelting you with arrow fire. Aradel is the smallest and closest target. They could fire at the big guy, but it looks like it'd be easier to kill the little elf instead. They fire 8 arrows into Aradel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Or spirit shield for any of one of them if they hit.
Like he has the displacer cloak, doesn't he?
Oops. I don't think he's there.
Not
Am I
be
going
there.
dinner?
Yeah.
Or he's muted.
Well, pretty sure the 9 don't hit, the 5 doesn't hit, the natural 20 will hit, so that's 1.
It's a disadvantage. He has the Spicer Cloak.
I know. The next one is a miss. The next one, 11 would be, I'm assuming, a miss. I think he has higher AC than that. The 18 and 17, I don't know, and the 10 would miss, and 18 and 17 again, I don't know. It's like 3 attacks that have hit there.
Okay.
Well, what's his
so
AC?
how much damage is that?
Oh, he's back.
Hello.
What's your
You've
AC?
got lots of arrows.
Me? That's awful rude. How much damage is this?
Well, we don't
they're
know
all,
your
the first
AC.
one's at disadvantage. They're all at disadvantage until one hits.
Yeah, so we want to know your AC.
17, I believe, or 16. Let's check. 18. Never mind.
Okay, so
So
They
is
all
it
miss?
from when you started attacking? So
They all miss.
Yeah, from the multi-attack.
3, 5, 9, 5, 16, 7, 11, 17, 10, 7. Yeah, all miss.
Wow.
It's a good cloak.
Ignore the spirit shield.
These 4 to the bottom, they can't have a clear shot, so they spend all of their action moving. But ironically, these ones that are further away have a much clearer shot on you. All on Aradel again, and all at short range, because longbows are ridiculous.
OP.
That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All miss.
All miss.
Right, you're fine. These other 3 rather emerge. They don't have a clear shot, and so they get into a position where they soon will have one. And these ones over here don't have a clear shot, so they too will get into a position.
That's a lot of yak folk.
Fuck yeah.
I was not expecting a lot of not giants.
How could you not expect yak folk? Like, why was that not at the front of your mind? Like, when
You
we
are
go into the
exactly right.
mountain, there will probably be a village of yak folk that will try to lure us in with cheese.
Come, taste our cheese.
Alright, Roz, your instincts were right. These are motherfuckers that deserve to have their skulls crushed in.
So Roz will just grab the kid, put him down gently, and just say, "All right, I need you guys to just hide in here, stay low. I promise you'll be all right." And he's gonna dash all the way. See an Aradel get completely smashed with arrows. I just want to get to the square that is right next to him, and that is exactly 60 feet.
Perfect. Eggless.
No one's within range of me. Oh, actually, you might be in range of me. It's within 5 feet of me. Are you within 5 feet of me, Livy? No, 10 feet. Okay. I'm gonna. Okay, I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 next to Roz. Actually, could I have gone 25 there instead of straight down, 1 to the side? And then I will prep. Let's do. Yeah, fuck it. I don't think we're actually gonna. I'm gonna cast Investiture of Flame on myself. When actually they're gonna all pelt me with arrows. Ah, fuck it. I don't care. Yeah, I cast that. That happens. And as a bonus action, I'm gonna move my Flame Boy. So go. He's 30 feet flying, so he's gonna fly up about 15. 16. Sorry, it's 15, 20, 25, 30, and get above Livy and profit above 15 feet above the air. It's out of range, but I can see from up top now. Well, I can cast from up there. He's out of range for attack. Yeah, that's my turn.
Right. I made a miscalculation earlier. Is it correct that Luro's stun lasts until the end of Luro's next go?
Yes.
So it would have worn off almost immediately for the chief. So they wouldn't have been subjected to like disadvantage and failed saving throws and all that. It doesn't matter. But that was a mistake that we all made. Prophet, you will notice that the chief is no longer stunned.
So I am no longer stunned as well?
I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Because
So-
you're only stunned until the end of. the end of Luro's next go, and if he just happens to be the next turn, so it's not a very long stun just by. That's everyone's agrees with that interpretation, right?
Yeah.
That's what it
Makes
says.
sense.
Uh,
It's just unfortunate where it landed.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, I just thought like at the end of my turn. For some reason.
Yeah, or if at the start of the end of the target's turn or something, but no, it's at the end of Luro's turn, and that was basically immediate. So yeah, so you have you are no longer stunned.
I thought she ran up on her turn, attacked, that triggered it, and then it's the end of
Yeah.
her next turn.
Yeah.
Does it say the end of your next turn? Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then yeah. So we did interpret it right. I was wrong. You're still stunned, Prophet.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm glad,
I think I was
glad
in
you
that
worked it
square.
out. Yeah, you were. Yeah.
I do nothing because I am stunned.
Brilliant, brilliant. The chief is also he does nothing. And we shall end there for the week.
That cloak is pretty good.
Okay, everyone say goodbye to Sash.
Goodbye to Sash.
Bye,
Bye,
Sash.
Sash.
Goodbye, Sash.
Oof.
See you later, everyone.
Nice burp.